Welcome back, episode 110 of Revisited, and we are doing a new content creator, one that's a subject matter that isn't about one particular thing. We've done a couple of these, but it's just
conceptual type stuff.
Yes, conceptual type stuff. We are talking about meeptop and their video. Film criticism should not be negative. I'm interested to hear the points because I feel like all criticism is valid.
Yeah,
if the criticism itself is valid.
I can understand maybe something like overly negative or negative just for the sake of... I can't
even say overly negative because if you're overly negative... So I should not be overly negative about like cats.
No, that's something different. Again, always that's something different. But a perfectly serviceable like 4 or 5 out of 10 movie like Ant-Man Quantumanium. It's like
it's not a good movie.
Yeah. It's
not a horrible movie.
I don't but you know, I can't even think of like something that could be like, hey, don't criticize that. What would be overly negative to criticize?
Captain Marvel?
This is a bad point that I've made. What is overly negative? Maybe, hey, don't nitpick. How about that?
I feel like I don't know some nitpicks are valid, though.
Sure.
Even if they're not.
Absolutely. But, again, it always goes back to the car in the Lord of the Rings. It's like, yeah, it's a mistake.
Yeah, if you are focused on that, that is a problem. But if you're just like, hey, the car there, it shouldn't be there. That's a nitpick, but it's a valid thing to point out.
Editing mistakes that we always see. Some, you know, at one point, some people's hand.
Who cursed me with this brain?
It's horrible,
dude. Every time I see an editing mistake, I'm just like,
your hand was not there. When they're eating and it cuts, and they're like, their spoon is like a different position. It's like, well, come on. Sonny has really bad editing, but it's funny.
Yeah, I feel like they both care and don't care.
Because it's a whole lot of like ad-libbing and improv stuff, so I'm sure they're just not like checking the dailies and okay, look, your hand is supposed to be up here or whatever. Yeah, they just like let's just do this.
Have you been catching up in Sonny?
I have not.
Oh.
I'm going to though. I'm going to be doing a lot of things in a little amount of time. Hopefully.
Why a little amount of time?
Because we've got Final Fantasy that I need to go through. Yeah. My art bug has come back. That is very, very fun. My editing bug has come back. That is
you're just killing your free time.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah, I understand.
And I gotta put working out in there somewhere, so it's gonna be like editing. So it's horrible. So I'm gonna be jam-packing as much in as little time as possible. Hopefully. Because there's gonna be some bullshit that comes. Yeah, because it always is.
Oh, definitely.
It's always. My friend just starting up this help me with my house thing again. That's killing me.
I thought we were past this.
We're never past this. And I'm too much of a piece of to say no.
Or you're too little of a piece of
I'm somewhere in that.
You're some form of
it's either the 0 that becomes a 10 or a 10 that becomes a 0. It's a circle. The top is the bottom. It always comes back to the same thing. I'm something, and I can't say no. And I need to learn how to say no, because it's killing me. It's killing me!
You can't even go, I can't at the moment. I'm a little busy.
No!
Yeah,
I can't!
You got a big problem, kiddo. I come up with excuses off the dome.
But the best that I can do is my patented call me, and oh no, I can't do it.
Kris hit that recently. He was like, hey, I want to get out of work early. So I need you to call me at like 11 a.m. and say the cats need to go to the vet.
It worked!
And it worked because he got off work early. He walked by both managers. He was like, call me. called him. He's just like, yeah, the cats, you know, I might need your help. And he got off early.
People, if you're in a sticky situation or you know you're about to be in a sticky situation, tell somebody like, hey, text somebody like, hey, call me in 5 minutes. They call you and just go, hey, yeah, what up? What? The basement flooded? I gotta get home now. Oh, sorry, I gotta get home. My basement flooded. Get you right out of there. Lie.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta lie.
And it works. And I love it.
Description, boys?
Oh. It closed out.
Yeah, because we were talking for so long.
YouTube is sucking. Look at this. I am literally pressing and nothing's happening. So I gotta close out of it.
Something recently happened to me like that where I was clicking on something YouTube and I went, this is not how this functionality should be doing. Like
they need to ship up or shape out. That's not the saying.
It's the saying now.
A critical analysis of film critics and the criticisms they receive. They've done your favorite thing of description tags. Look at all them description tags just laid out. Couldn't even weave them into it. It's just description tags. Mr. Plinkett, Red Letter Media, Mike Still Clausa, YMS, all this stuff over and on. Go.
Stop trying to get fat off somebody else's shine. As we revisit a video that is totally someone else's.
But you know, it is what it is. The game, and we always talk about the game.
I don't know,
I've got no problem with the game.
I have a problem with the game when you are trying to game it in a way where the system already explicitly says you cannot do this, and then they just try to circumvent it to. I don't. The game with the thumbnails. What am I gonna do? Thumbnails. Even though I rally against it, even though I go, there's no scientific proof this works, but everybody just says it works, and I've gone over it. I don't mind it because people feel like it works, so they use it. Fine, whatever. The description tags, I will never forgive because you are misleading the algorithm. Just to come up in a search of Red Letter Media. It's f***ing disgusting.
Now, he might talk about Red Letter Media, in which case, I'm pretty sure he talks about Red Letter.
But even so, that tag should not...
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not enough of a talk to... Like, we might mention Triggered in this. I wouldn't tag Triggered in...
Pepper Ant or some
some weird... We do. Or we might bring up, what about One Piece? And I'm not going to tag One Piece in our description because we spent 6 seconds on an example. Alright, let's just get into it.
Black Adam killed art. All of Marvel Phase 4 is garbage. Especially...
I love his tattoo, and I wish I was a white person.
I have a coworker that's doing a lot of colored tattoos, and I'm just like...
It looks so
I straight up told him, I hate sometimes.
It's trash, because it's just...
The color is awesome. I also like his intro. It's short and sweet.
It's not fair.
It's really not.
Especially Spider-Man No Way Home. F*** you. The Rings of Power? Yeah, worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Avatar The Way of Water? That isn't even out yet. And it's easily the most overrated and overhyped movie of the entire year.
I think this is what I meant by overly negative. And this is obviously hyperbolic, but something like this, yeah.
But it was the most... overhyped and overrated.
Sure, but the catalyst, not the catalyst, him just going, it's not even out yet, and it is the most blah 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 blah. But now that we have the information, have you seen it?
No. Have you seen it?
I may have seen it.
Why would you see it? I mean, one day I'm gonna see it.
I may have been put into a position where I wanted to see it, and I did.
And
what do you think?
I think it's not a good movie, but is it a bad movie?
It's boring, first off and foremost.
There's nothing worse you could be.
It's a lot of stupid things within the movie. There is minimal good things in the movie. there is a surplus of bad things in a movie.
Oh no.
Make your own judgment.
Up or down Eternals?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I liked a lot more in Eternals.
That's
which
disgusting.
Is saying something.
That's saying a lot.
But it also wasn't 9 hours long. Eternals was a quick hour 45.
Was it?
Was it? I feel like it was. I feel like it wasn't.
I feel like that was like 220.
It better not have been.
I don't think that was a quick, succinct movie. I think the runtime was heavy.
No, well, it is a 156 minutes.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
That is, I disagree.
Absolute trash. So, I guess this makes...
But here's and I know I'm cutting him off already again. But here's the thing. Even if people say those types of things, if they can explain it,
sure.
What's the issue?
Makes me a real film critic now, right?
Wrong!
If you've spent time in the YouTube video essay/film criticism space, you've probably seen your fair share of negatively slanted videos. You know, the ones with the thumbnails with the person who's like crying or screaming or both.
But surely you've seen your fair share of positive videos where it's just like a bright letters, masterpiece, sparkly, something like that. I'm sure you
will find anything anywhere. You could say the algorithm is skewed one way or another, but I feel like the algorithm is skewed to you. So if you're consuming those happy-go-lucky videos, you're probably gonna come across more happy-go-lucky videos. What are you doing?
I'm looking up Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. A lot of them have letters like high top. My good. Don't just autoplay it. But yeah. But that's high tops.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
But that's God, it's so sad and you should appreciate the sadness of Guardians. Yeah. It's a lot of
lady crying and big letters.
Yeah.
You're gonna get repeating thumbnails. Cause you know what else? Put the thing in the thing.
Big letters so they know what it is.
You're not gonna be like, hey, here's my One Piece review and show All Might. It was like, what are you doing? No.
I mean, you might if there's some type of analogy or comparison between a character and All Might.
Sure, but you would have to get into the video enough to be like, this justifies the
All Might thumbnail.
And it has like a big chunk of text next to it that says something like trash or failure or PP doo-doo. In fact, I know that you're not totally...
It wasn't a failure. I mean, narratively it was a failure. But it's a trash movie.
immune to these kinds of videos because they're likely the only reason you're seeing this video right now. Yes, I am a hypocrite. Every human being is. I'm very aware of it. Where do you think I got the idea for this video? Now, this isn't some pull the rug out from under you moment where I reveal that all of these videos were part of a villainous scheme to reveal the true nature of YouTube to you. No, they were all completely genuine. I am mostly very proud of them, and I'm very sincerely happy that people are engaging with them in any way. But I can't help but look at the absolute batshit 1.2 million views on the Dahmer video and think like, how did we get here? Like, I mean, we as in all of us here collect.
Did you make a video that was interesting to people and you rode the wave of the series just coming out and getting acclaim? So the hype ballooned into the algorithm with a lot of people clicking it and thumbsing it up. So when people searched out Dahmer, you popped up again.
I'm wondering if that is even necessarily negative, because who is it for? I can understand, like, okay, who wanted this? Who was this even made for? Things I liked, warnings, the ethics of narrative nonfiction. They turned Dahmer into Joker. Bunch of descriptive tags. Pew pew.
That's probably what did it.
Yeah, you know.
It's even his most viewed video.
Yes.
Okay, what's number 2?
The A24 movie they don't want you to see.
How's that a negative?
On YouTube, how did we get here? How did negative criticism of media become just as much of a spectacle as media itself? Why is the word...
I don't think that it's a spectacle. I think that people want to hear people either affirm their beliefs, or sometimes people want to go to it and be like, hey, why does it? I like it. Why do you think this sucks?
Mm-hmm. Some sort of dissenting opinion, different from your own.
Some people like to just hear people bash things. Some people like to hear people just praise things. It's just kind of is. YouTube there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. People are very bored. People just throw things on while they play games.
Yeah.
It's not a negative or positive thing. It's just a YouTube. There's, what is it, like 100 million, or it's not. That's way too much. How many hours is it per minute that's being uploaded to YouTube?
Oh yeah. It's some ridiculous,
astronomical number.
A number that for every minute, trying to watch that minute worth of content throughout your life, you probably are going to take years to do so.
500 hours every minute.
That's a lot of time.
And you're going to get a whole bunch of different opinions. You're going to get, hey, I just watched Guardians. You're going to watch, some people might watch some good stuff, some bad stuff. Some people might only skew good. Some people might be like, oh man, Red Letter Media didn't like it. I like them. Why didn't they like it?
Yeah, I've had some of those. And I'm like, I don't agree with you guys.
Criticism broadly seen as an inherently negative term, and what purpose does any of this serve? I'm going to attempt to answer all of those questions, but before I do, please keep in mind this is all just my own perspective and
opinion shield. Again, I totally understand content creators needing to do this, but we understand.
Mm-hmm. Try not to take it too personally. Thank you. So before we really get into where we're at currently,
hey, do you hear that song? What's that
Persona?
song? I wonder what that song is from.
Is it Persona?
I wonder what that song is from. Was it from a video game or a movie or a TV show?
Do need to talk about criticism as a word. You know, what does it mean? What function does criticism serve? That kind of stuff. And obviously, I can't give a full history of criticism in this video because we'd be going all the way back to 300 BC with Aristotle, if not earlier. And I basically end up repeating a lot of what John Dryden had to say about criticism back in 1677.
Hey, this is history stuff, and you know your boy is gonna fall asleep on history stuff.
I like how he's like, I'm going to explain criticism, but I'm not going to do it by going all the way back in time. But then he's still kind of doing it.
Because time is a flat circle. For the sake of the video and my own sanity, I'm gonna try and keep things relatively focused around like the last couple of decades at most. And currently, criticism is not really seen in the best light, as I alluded to earlier. And I think that's reflected by its first definition on Google, powered by Oxford Languages, which is the expression of disapproval of someone or something based on perceived faults or mistakes. I think this is sort of broadly what's being implied when most people say the word criticism. I think this is what they mean. It's like it has this inherently...
Does he have a problem with the word criticism?
I think he has a issue with the word criticism not being used correctly, and that criticism can also be a account on the merits of a piece of media.
I don't care. Talk about, watch the thing. Don't go, oh man, it's a criticism, boo-hoo. Just watch the thing and gather what they are talking about from said thing.
Negative intent. And I'm sure you can find a lot of examples of me using the word in that way across videos on this channel. Again, I am a hypocrite. I like some Lars von Trier and Harmony Korine films, and I still call out American Horror Story for being tasteless and exploitative. We can do this all day if you want. However, I think that the second definition of criticism listed on Google, powered by Oxford Languages, is more reflective of what criticism means to me. That being the analysis and judgment of the merits and faults of a literary literary or artistic work. I've never personally subscribed to the idea that it is a critic's job to tower themselves above a piece of art and scour it for every flaw like they're the fucking Eye of Sauron or something.
But okay, this is part of the problem with internet creators, because internet creators always slot into a space and then just kind of become flanderized versions of whatever slot they put themselves into. So if you're talking about film critics, let's just say, when you go to professional film critics, you'll see them talking about the positives and the negatives, whereas a lot of YouTube film critics, or critics in general, analysis YouTubers, whatever it is, if they slotted themselves into the I am positive on thing type of YouTuber, they will always skew that way.
Yeah, you don't want to see a nostalgia critic talking about something that he likes. That's
something
not
old
necessarily
that's
that
good.
you're there for.
Yes. He has already slotted himself into angry reviewer.
But he has those things, obviously, because, you know, there's a finite number of bad movies out there that has things to talk about.
At least nostalgically.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's very...
Yeah, this is a problem of YouTube and not so much film criticism, because you will find actual, like, my job is film criticism, to critique films, and you'll find a lot of positives and negatives in overly negative reviews. You'll find a lot of negatives and overly positive reviews, because that's their job, to do definition 2.
I'm very curious about what he thinks is going to be a good review or criticism or critique or whatever.
Or if he even evidences what he feels is a good person or piece of review.
And for what reason?
And I've also never really liked the idea of a critic groveling to a piece of art either, like Wayne and Garth.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Pause.
To me...
But what if you really like something, you don't have
really
too
hate
much
it.
negative to say, or you really hate it and you don't have too much positive to say? Cats is the example, but there is almost nothing good about that movie.
So if somebody is just, let's just say they put out a 28-minute review, and 24 and a half minutes is talking about how terrible it is, 2.5 is talking about the positives, and the rest is plugs, is their criticism not worthy or not worthwhile because of how negative it was overall, even though the film, in most people's eyes, is a very bad film?
The Sideways video, why the music in Cats is way worse than you thought, just breaks down the music parts of it. It's just like, here's why this rendition of it is poorly done compared to the original one. And again, it's not a good movie with very few things to say. And he's breaking it down and he's giving logical reasons as to why. I don't see a problem with that.
None.
If you don't, because I don't want somebody to like force themselves to talk about the positives of something if they don't think it's enough positives, or if they're not passionate enough about the positive. It's like, yeah, I guess it is kind of inventive that they're kind of like small, but they're also like humans. I don't know exactly how. The big stairs is cool. Like, what am I gonna talk about positively about Cats? And I love the movie.
It's very much in the vein of Totally Not Mark doing his Chimera Ant review, where he had started it and went, there was nothing positive I could say because I hated what I had read. So I read twice as much as I originally do, or usually do, just to try to pull something positive out of it.
Yeah, talk about what you want to talk about. It's again, something like an Ant-Man, Quantumanium. There's positive, there's negatives. It leans more towards the negatives.
Way more towards the negative.
If I was to do a film review, quote unquote, it'd be skewing towards the negative with, hey, I did like this thing, though.
I thought this was good. I thought the arc of Blank was fine.
And I would like to know, again, what is the super negative, super positive people that he's talking about? A nostalgia critic, that is entertainment.
Angry Joe.
That is more entertainment. Something like a
Angry.
Mauler. Mauler does talk about the positive things in bad movies that he doesn't like as well. So it's not even like a full-on negative. What does he want? Does he want an 80-20, 70-30, 60-40? What is he talking about here?
To me, criticism encompasses everything, much like the yin-yang, or the yin-yang, or however you want to say it. You know, like the things you like, the things you dislike, the things you like about the things you dislike, and vice versa. You know, nuance. You meet a piece of art where it is at.
That's not necessarily nuance as much as covering the spectrum of everything.
Yeah.
And it's not like subtle to go, hey, this is crap, but I like these parts.
What if I don't have enough things to talk about positively? What if when we do like because reasons for Demon Slayer, it's like, yeah, they got some good designs. Yes, it is pretty. And then 2 hours of smashing it.
But what about Genlock season 2? I don't remember a positive thing we said.
We said it in the beginning. What do you like? And it came down to get the white man out of here. Oh, that's gonna get clipped. Well, you. I'm always calling you clippers out. Get some. Come clip me to my face. What? What they do on the stream? I don't remember anything else that was positive.
Dude, legitimately, out of my brain.
I listened to it like a month ago as well. It was a short what do you like segment.
Engage with it on its own level.
I'm sorry, what?
You meet a piece of art where it is at. You engage with it on its own level.
Oh, no, I do not agree with that. I do not want to engage with a Transformers on its own level. I have to compare and contrast it to action-adventure films with comedic elements I've seen before and go, this is not as good as those. This is a bad movie. Even if I subtract or try my best to remove those aspects of it and just look at it as the film itself, I'm not entertained. I'm not thrilled. I'm not laughing. So even though I am quote unquote on this level, that is still not good.
The best that I can think of that he means is you wouldn't judge a romance video on its actions as you would an action film.
Okay, that's totally fine.
But something like, it's like what you said. It's Transformers. Like, no, you meet it. You don't meet it where it's at. You meet it as, hey, I got a standard, and this isn't meeting my standards. I'm not turning my brain off and just going, well, it is a Transformers. No.
Now, I can understand this for something like the horror genre. Because you're going to have your super creepy horror, you're going to have your campy, this is more of a comedy than a horror. You're going to have your action slasher horrors, and it's hard to judge a action slasher horror in the same way you would a overtly comedic type of horror film. But even then, I would just go, this is a horror film. What do I like about it? What do I dislike about it? And is it entertaining me? Like, I love Cabin in the Woods. It does not have a lot of creepy elements in Cabin in the Woods. But it doesn't make me like it any less than like the original Halloween, which was very creepy, stalkerish type of things.
Something like kids movies are kids movies, but they still have to have some sort of logical consistency.
Yes.
Because if in Superman just swoop down in Coco and just like, I'll save everybody, it's like, yeah, it's a kids movie.
Anything
move on. It's like, no. It needs to, it's a story first and foremost.
Yeah.
It's for everybody.
Regardless of who it's for.
Yeah.
It'd be like if the tortoise and the hare, the tortoise just pulled out a jetpack. And it's like, well, where did he get the jetpack?
Yeah, it's a kid's story.
That's not good enough.
your own interpretation, and then you express your perspective as best as you can.
But what if your perspective is overtly negative or overtly positive?
What if you go to a romance movie and you don't have any sort of romantic experience and there's nothing to project onto there?
Or nothing to attach to? It sounds like he's trying to call out a lot of film critics as phonies. Not really saying what they think, but saying what they think is going to give them the most clicks and views.
That's it. That is criticism. It feels like whichever way you slice it.
But what is the difference between what you said and these overtly negative things, even if they're being hyperbolic with it? Even if they're just going, oh, this is the worst piece of trash I've ever seen. They're talking about Velma, but then they systematically break down the issues of Velma. Are you going to go, well, he was hyperbolic in what he said with it being
where's the positive? Where's the yin yang?
Positive or negative, criticism is really about validating art. It's about a critic saying, I see what an artist is doing, and I am taking it seriously. The art form is important to me, so what the artist does with it is equally important to me.
In fairy tale is not important to me.
No, what he does with it is not important.
I don't care. He out some.
He said something earlier. Hold on. Sorry.
Saying, I see what an artist is doing, and I am taking it.
No, there was something. It was
Negative. Criticism is really about validating art. It's about a critic saying, I see what an artist is doing,
really
and I am taking it seriously. The art form is important to me, so what the artist does with...
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Not all forms of art are meant to be taken seriously. Let's say, is right now Tommy Wiseau's The Room meant to be taken seriously? Now that he's come out and said it was always a plan.
I gotcha. It was always, this was my intention.
So when you watch that film, are you meant to take it seriously as a piece of film? Are you meant to take parody films seriously as a piece of film?
Yeah, what is? I don't know exactly what he means.
I don't know what you mean by seriously.
But again, also engaging with it on its level was just kind of introduced and nothing was done with it.
Is equally important to me. But let's be honest, that is not how most of us see criticism, especially not on YouTube. Whether it be the commenters or the creators, we just seem to flock to negativity and cynicism here on YouTube. You know, obviously, there are some notable
do you have notable exceptions? But do you have examples where let's just Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Do you have examples of the three most popular and the three most popular I like it is good? Like, that would be a metric of, hey, we see, but then you would have to go, we're trying to skew negative. So you would have to go to a film that a lot of people think is good, or a piece of media that a lot of people think is good, and you're going negative and people are skewing to that even though they know the piece of media is good. And I don't mean something like a Breaking Bad where it's just overwhelmingly 98% of the people are just like, oh my god, this is amazing. I mean something that's pretty good out there. Like Cars. Cars is not in anybody's top 5 of those films, but good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very difficult to negatively this is what the people want. When we talked about how, or at least I talked about how often I saw that One Piece is an Odyssey or masterpiece or whatever it was constantly being recommended to me.
Same here.
And I don't think I've been recommended that Demon Slayer sucks video more than like twice.
I have never been recommended it. The only reason I saw it was because of the fans in the Discord. And it's a good video.
Yeah, I would like to see some evidence towards this, because I don't think I've seen a single Guardians 3 sucks.
And if there is a Guardians 3 sucks out there, is it anywhere near as many views as Guardians is amazing? Because people think Guardians is good.
Do like positive commentary every once in a while, and
Every once in a while, you're really skewing this. What do you mean by every once in a while?
Yeah, what do you mean by... Could you go back to those channels?
exceptions.
2 million, 1 million. That's not every once in a while. If these are largely positive channels.
And High Top Films is largely positive. Totally Not Mark is largely positive.
People do like positive commentary every once in a while, and of course there are other correlations, like just the general popularity of what's being reviewed. You know, if your favorite creator makes a review of a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie, you can probably guarantee that's going to get more views than some random indie film no one's ever heard of. But in general, I'm generalizing here. There is something that we just love about watching a creator absolutely dunk on a film or TV show. It's like...
Yes, but I also like a creator talking about the positives of it if they do it in a good way. Like H-Bomber Guy's Deus Ex video. Mm-hmm. He talks about the positives of it, the negatives of it, and I'm like, that is a good video. I don't give a shit about Deus Ex, but it is fair. It's never fair no matter
because
what.
H-Bomb is the top. The 10 out of 10s are never fair to talk about. Your Fields, your Cats, your H-Bombs. Those are never fair. It's like, it don't matter what they do because Phil is
no
awful.
Matter what, it's a 10.
It's a 10.
You know, we either want to see a critic just absolutely tear a film to shreds, or we want to be in the bloodbath of a comment section just going at the critic for daring to criticize something that we personally love. It's like...
Pause. You say that like it doesn't happen the other way, though.
Yes. We haven't gotten multiple comments about why are you talking about this? It's a great show, Demon Slayer or My Hero or something, or Get the Content Creator, Mother's Basement or something. Just like, oh my God, they're great. Why are you doing this? It doesn't mean basically anything that commenters will go to a negative video when they are positive on the piece of media and go, hey, this is a bad video because I think this film is good.
So, DBZ Imran's
Jesus
ruined reputation video has almost 1 million views. Deserve it. Agreed.
You mean that thing summary? Do you remember?
We're not here to bash.
Do you remember the time frame of criticism to summary?
Who would be pedantic enough to do something like that? Honestly. I'm looking for Eye Patch Wolf's Bleach video. Did he take it down? I feel like he took it down.
No, he unlisted it, remember?
The
first one.
Yeah.
And then he printed the retraction.
And that one has 2 million. But
which is all I'm sorry.
But also like, I was kind of right though. Don't chill out. You know, maybe maybe I was
cooking a little bit. Hold up. Maybe I judged myself too harshly on that one.
But yeah, like, why Perfect Blue is terrifying. It's got almost 5 million views. The Impact of Akira, the film that changed everything, it's got almost 4 million views.
How Media Scares Us, the work of Joji Ito, has 5 million from Eye Patch Wolf.
It's just why you should watch Hunter x Hunter. 2 million. It's not. He's acting like two creators of equal prominence make a video about a movie that's a 5 out of 10. One of them is just like, yo, it's amazing. One of them's like, yo, it's terrible. And then one that's like, yo, it's terrible. That's the one that's getting all the views. And they came out around the same time, and he's got no evidence towards this. I don't know what. It would be helpful if he like, here's my recommendations. But that could also just be skewed. He could just take one random day, like my recommendations right now. Ann Leet,
Good.
The Right Opinion, in DSP, Jack Films talking about Sniper Wolf, which is some of the funniest I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I definitely need to see that.
It is, because she is legitimately infuriating how she reacts, and he is just mashing her.
Oh no.
Why the FGC succeeded where esports failed. That seems pretty interesting.
Who was that by?
Dash Fight.
Oh, I know Dash Fight. Okay.
Came out 3 hours ago. Yeah, I know.
Mine is Anne. DDP talking about something. Mike playing Resident Evil. We're brothers, we're not friends, which means you don't have to like me from Boy Meets World. Phil. Hassan reacting to Joe Rogan. And Sunny bloopers. And I watched the Sunny bloopers of a lot.
I don't really know. It's just like this primal urge to just go off. There are a lot of factors at play as to how we got into this storm, but before we talk about any of that, there is a very important series of videos that absolutely need to be brought up. The Plinkett reviews will always be brought up in any conversation about online criticism, and that's for good reason, Obviously, there are other pioneers like Lindsay Ellis or other people at Channel Awesome, including even the Nostalgia Critic, and there are other adjacent channels.
Why would you say Lindsay Ellis first when she was brought to the forefront because of the Nostalgia Critic?
I guess because Lindsay Ellis is more prominent in that she can, she's not a shtick anymore, really. So she can...
Past tense, because she don't make videos no more.
You say that, but I think she started making them on one of the platforms. She's on Nebula, like that one.
I don't know about that one. That YouTube alternative. Just stop. It's not.
But that one was for creators by creators.
I'm not paying in $30 a month for a couple videos.
That we could talk about.
No, Cinema Sins ruined this.
Yes.
Plinkett had a really negative review on a film that a lot of people think is trash. Cinema Sins picks at everything with a fine-tooth comb, even good films, just to go. It's got 187 sins because not enough auga.
Yeah, it's you don't know exactly what's the positives, the negative, what's the joke, what's the criticisms, what they actually believe. But Plinkett, it's like, yeah, here's the stuff that they believe, and then they go off talking about in Hot Pockets and stuff like that. It's like that's the funny part, but here's the stuff that is actually criticism stuff.
Are playing a hand in how we see criticism today. Nitpicking is not criticism, and even CinemaSins would not argue with me on that. But
they literally called themselves critics before.
Yeah. Who do you think has been inspired by the CinemaSins? How have they shaped the landscape? Speaking negatively about movies, I guess you could say that. But what else?
There's a lot of sins wins.
I know, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about actual people that say. We're not talking about those anime wins. No. What are we thinking about him at all?
You know what's funny? I haven't been to his channel in forever.
I also have not been to his channel.
What is he up to?
I hope it's not doing well.
Are you doing wins or sins?
I'll do wins.
Alright, I'll do sins.
Everything you read about Konosuba was 4 days ago. Black Clover Wizard King was 11 days ago. Demon Slayer Season 3.
You know what? Anime Sans and Anime Wins is a perfect example of that because his Sans channel did not get nearly as many views as his Wins channel. So, for example, Everything Wrong with Goblin Slayer Season 1, 2 months ago, 3K views.
Everything Great About Horiyama 2 months ago.
Horiyama or Horimiya?
Horimiya.
What a great manga.
60K. Everything Great About Slime, Reincarnated Slime, 25K. Yeah, there's not too much in those last couple months that dip under 20K. There's Everything Great About 86. I don't know what that is. Let's get a little preview of the Demon Slayer Season 3.
In the meantime, I'm going through his Anime Sans channel, just trying to find a video that's over 20K. I am a year ago, and I have not found one.
Now, this is a very good example. How many subs does it have?
134K.
Okay, it has his wins has 228K, so about 100K more. I don't think that that's worth because these ones from a couple days ago, Konosuba and the Wizard King won 6K and 11K, but Demon Slayer 56. Everything Great.
No, that's fine because I'm looking at this. You tell me where you see 11K finally.
No, I'm talking about what's going under 15K. We got the 68, which was 5 months ago. 56, sorry.
You want to know
Bakamatari? Yeah, that's 11K. Yeah, this is overwhelming.
His first over 20K video that I found. Everything Wrong with Demon Slayer Mugen Train 2 years ago. That's his first negative video I saw that was over 20K.
What's his most popular? What's the views on his most popular?
His most popular is Everything Wrong with My Hero Academia, 1.3 mil.
Everything Great About JoJo's Golden Wind is 1.8 mil. The next is 1.7 mil.
Next one is 1.1. High School of the Dead.
Next is a little under 900K with JoJo Stardust.
Next is My Hero Academia's second half, which is 600K.
600. Yeah, see, this is... People are going to the wins definitive. Last one. When was the first video put out on that channel?
Hey, we can do oldest.
Thank goodness.
I'm not going to go with the full map. It is the My Hero Academia one, which was 6 years ago.
And it was 6 years ago. Attack on Titan was the first one. So roughly around the same time that they came out, one is vastly more popular than the other. This is very good data.
It's by the same content creator, by the way.
The same mother...
This isn't even two different people. No, this is the same mother...
Let's just not kid ourselves at all. Let's not even pretend. Like, the Plinkett reviews are not the template that we are all working with. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I love the Plinkett reviews. Do I think that some aspects of them have aged poorly? Yes. Do I think that they sometimes function better as comedy than criticism? Also yes. But do I also think that they are some of the best videos on YouTube and that they're often hilarious and insightful and that we as a platform owe a ton to these videos? 100%, absolutely. But I think that the Plinkett reviews have given us a very limited and warped perspective on what criticism can be, which I don't necessarily think is the fault.
No, I disagree. I think the best you could say is it gives some people a negative and skewed perspective on what criticism should be. That we should follow the Plinkett style of things because that was a interesting, engaging, and funny video that tore apart the thing and got a lot of views.
But
anything criticism-wise can be criticism. Thank you, fireworks.
hopefully fireworks.
No, those are gunshots. Never mind. They fired off.
Oh, here they come.
The boys.
Of Mike's DeClosa.
Are y'all okay over there?
Or anyone at Red Letter Media. I consider it more of an unintended consequence. Just like how when Mike said in the Star Trek 2009 Plinkett review that J.J. Abrams would be really good at directing Star Wars movies.
He quickly explains how it shaped the landscape and all those things and why people think that they should be. Because I would prefer less of the front loading and more of the actually explaining it.
I don't think he thought for a second that would ever manifest itself into reality, or that it would come in the form of something like The Rise of Skywalker. Just like I don't think Mike grew up watching Star Trek and thought, one day Captain Kirk will roast me on Twitter. My point being that I don't think that the Plinkett reviews were some sort of diabolical scheme to warp the perception of online criticism. No, really, the Plinkett reviews first and foremost function as catharsis.
What kind of, I guess, inspired you to start doing these reviews?
Well, the very first review is Generations.
Yeah.
I was a huge Next Generation fan as a kid, you know, growing up and whatnot. And when I saw that movie in the theaters, I hated it.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of free time, and I just said, you know, I'm going to make a video detailing all the points about why I don't like this movie or why I thought it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so I made that, and I just made it for the intention of just for myself, just to do it.
Yeah.
And so I put it on YouTube, and it started to get good. Yeah, it started to get momentum, and people liked it. I was like, okay.
But when the copycats naturally emerged, they didn't really take away his genuineness or his authenticity, and it seems like
I know it. They aren't being real.
Who are the copycats first off?
I guess film crappers, if that's
This
a real
is
channel.
no, this is from the Star Wars review.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you don't have show some actual examples of people aping the Plinkett style and what did they do and how they did it poorly.
Yeah, don't subtweet a mother about it.
Yeah, don't show their examples of, hey, people were copying us, because they're always tongue-in-cheek. Film crappers? Come on, what? This is nothing. Unless it's something.
It was that catharsis is not simply a
I don't think that Your Movie Sucks or what was it? What's the other one? He's got a big face. Not like every
So
film
good.
is horrible. Your movie sucks. And who's that other mother? He's got a big face.
So good. It's the only.
No, not the so good.
Stonehead Rock, man.
No. How do I do this? I hate movies. That's not his name, is it? Help me! Don't you look at me!
I don't know this person.
I hate everything.
There you go.
My goodness. Yes, I don't think that those two are necessarily. And again, I would like you to explain how they would be instead of just going, they took the wrong things from Plinkett. What did they take from Plinkett?
And what were the right things they should have taken away? Not just saying the word genuineness. Because that's just like people going, you can feel the passion in this movie. Like, I don't care.
In film speak said about Black Panther.
criticism, but that it is criticism in its entirety. The Plinkett reviews unintentionally lessened.
Sure.
What they took away was that catharsis is not simply a function of criticism, but that it is criticism in its entirety. The Plinkett...
I mean, it can be.
Yeah. And you showcase Mike saying that the Star Trek one was catharsis. He didn't say anything about the Star Wars one being a catharsis.
Reviews unintentionally lessened the scope of reviewing films into this template of just shitting on a film for the entertainment of the audience. Look at Lindsay Ellis's most viewed...
It didn't, though. Anime Sans and Wins. It's...
Yeah.
videos. Or maybe take a look at Jeremy Johns, who admittedly only exists on this platform as he does today because one day he decided to massively rip into Transformers 2 on camera.
It's like they took the plot of Transformers 1, wrecked it, beat it to shit. So Transformers had a first date with Mike Tyson. That movie's horrible.
Or maybe we could look at
Hold on.
Kris Stuck.
And you see those types of things. It's easier to be funny when you're ripping into something.
Yes. It's a big bag of horse. But you have to actually explain. Because people, that's the type of juvenile stuff that people like. Where it's just like, it's the doo-doo pee-pee.
Oh, dude. Jeremy Johns was not a good example. His most viewed video was Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Next is Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Rise of Skywalker spoiler talk. Next is the best 10 movies of 2015. The Dark Knight. Star Wars Battlefront. Dawn of Justice. Worst movies. Best movies. Best movies. Captain Marvel. It's a good mix of
Negative and positive.
negative and positive. This is not a good example to use.
But what he's saying is, look at the most viewed video.
Okay, but
And
then
that's
he
all
also
we should
went,
take a-
look at Lindsay Ellis' 5 most views videos. How is that fair?
Because they're all negative, I guess. Shrug shoulders.
Kris Stuckman, whoever you are. I feel like I don't like the cut of your jib. Hey, you just did a slam dunk movie review.
I hear good things.
I don't know if he's an anime person. Prometheus explained the problem with action movies today, the problem with horror movies today, Batman and Robin. Why I left Jehovah's Witness to pursue filmmaking? Well, that's not.
That is a sentence.
Joker, Dragon Ball Evolution, Cats, The Happening, Star Wars. Okay, this is more negative skewing. He does a lot of hilariosity. I don't know if that's like the bad movies, and I'm gonna talk about them. But there's still some good ones in here. Enemy explained. Yeah, he skews more to the negative. What's your point about Kris Stuckman? Let's hear it.
One of my favorite reviewers on the platform. A ton of his most viewed videos are hilariosity reviews where he just tears apart and laughs at the failures of filmmakers.
But they're terrible films.
Yeah.
They're all terrible films. It wasn't like he tore apart a film that's a 7.5.
He's talking about the Emoji Movie.
He's talking about legit 3s.
Batman and Robin. These are things that people know and understand are bad, so you hear a lot of people tearing it apart. And again, like I said, it's a lot funnier. You can pull a lot more jokes and comedy and big reactions out of, yo, this is awful, look at this, instead of just, yo, this is amazing, look at this.
Bowed out of the negativity rat race entirely. Or you can look at other Descendant channels like Your Movie Sucks or I Hate Everything. And again,
Hey,
love these
it's the
guys.
big-
I'm not
look,
throwing
he's got a big head. That's who I was talking about.
Okay.
And you wouldn't help me.
Because I didn't know.
any shade their way at all. But even if it's not reflective of every piece of criticism they've
No.
ever given.
What's wrong with them?
Yes. Are they wrong in their assertions of speaking negatively about these movies? Are they picking easy targets that are easy to talk negatively about and then talking negatively about them? What is the issue with what they're doing?
Outside of them just doing it because it's negative, and you have a problem with negativity.
The names alone kind of tell you where their headspace was at when they joined the platform, right? Like, again, it's
I want to talk about negative movies because it may be more fun for me. It may garner more views. It may be what people want to talk about. There may be more negative to talk about than positive. There's a lot more bad than good. We don't know what their headspace was when they made these channels.
And well, I hate everything. It's just in there. I assume the headspace there. But is Your Movie Sucks talking about good movies and just doing the cinema sin style of, I'm just gonna do whatever I can to draw the negative out of this thing that is mostly positive. I honestly don't know what your issue is.
The first, this is all of his earlier videos, and they're all not movie stuff. This isn't criticism stuff. He's talking about Bieber fans and DeviantArt, and I'm waiting for Druids. Okay, finally. Yeah, this is like his 20th or 30th video where he first talks about movies. It seems like a general rant channel that turned into a movie criticism channel.
When YMS makes a video about The Lion King 2019, as someone who has absolutely no nostalgia or investment in The Lion King at all, when I'm watching that video, I am right there with him. I am saying, yeah.
No, because he's making good points.
Yes, regardless of even someone like me who loves the original Lion King and does not the remake, if you make good points about something, you make good points about something.
He's showing evidence. He's going, here are interviews where this month is saying this, but you're doing this. Here's the fact that just like, yeah, we're not doing Be Prepared. And then they just had to cobble something together at the very last minute. He's showing evidence. He's going, here's why this worked. Here's this motif that's not in the new one. And it informs, he makes a lot of really good points in that. Good informed, evidenced points. So of course you're gonna be like, yo, this is good.
Yes, I'm right there with him. He is correct. Yeah. Well, yeah, he evidenced the things he said. Now, if he was just going, this movie sucks. Oh my God!
Look at Simba.
This.
Boo! Oh, this isn't funny. No,
Nala sucks. No, and it's just 20 minutes of that.
He puts things side by side going, look at the emotion in this face and look at the lack of emotion in this face. How can you feel anything for this character when it's just a lion? No eyebrows, no expression. That's where it is. It's not just, hey, this movie sucks. It's, no, this man is dissecting this movie to show why exactly it sucks and some things that you may not have even thought about.
This fucking film apart. Disney. But like, after I'm done watching the video, I kind of just sit there and think, is this really all there is? Like, is this...
No! Because there are people that speak positively about things. I don't know if you're going to find people that are going to speak a lot positively about the 2019 remake of Lion King, because a lot of people find it to be a very, very bad movie. Bright is another one where people find it to be a very, very bad movie. This is not all there is, because I'm sure you can look up something about The Glass Onion or Knives Out or Murder on the Orient Express going, these are good films. When a film is good, people will speak positively about it. And when a film is bad, they will speak negatively about it. If you want to seek out people when you see a movie and you go, oh my God, this movie sucked, what is people saying about it? Okay, you're going to find a lot of negative reviews because a lot of people think the same thing. You're not going to find a bunch of negative reviews about Spider-Verse. You're just not.
And he's going, I hope this isn't all it is. I hope it is all that this is. Well researched and evidence examples like the antithesis of lazy. That doesn't say antithesis.
The apotheos.
The apotheos. That's a new one.
The apotheosis. The apotheosis.
Whatever that is. That is 45 minutes of explaining why the world building of a movie is bad instead of just going, this movie sucks. I would greatly prefer this than just a dude sitting in front of a camera for 5 minutes going, I enjoyed this movie or this movie sucks. This is, I hope, but it's, again, it's like you said, it's not all that this is. There's a lot of different types of things out there.
Yeah. You're picking a negative film critique based on negative films. It would be different, again, if you were seeking, if you saw a positive or a movie that skews towards positive reaction and a negative video got like 5 million views on it. It's just like, well, there's nothing that's gonna please any of you guys, because even if it's a good film, notably good film, if somebody's on it, you're gonna go there.
All criticism can be on the platform is...
Yeah, if a film is bad, people speak negatively about it. And you're going, is that all there is? Go to a good film and see if you're going to find a skewed amount of views towards the negative aspects of the film.
You've already said that he does this hilariosities. This looks like
bowl cut. This looks horrible.
Yeah, I think it's fine to talk poorly about Batman and Robin. I think that that's perfectly fine. I think that if a movie is bad, there is nothing wrong with people going out there like, I want to share why I believe that this film is bad. So long as they evidence themselves, so long as they have examples, so long as they do whatever they got to do.
Explain
I see nothing wrong with that.
Oops, it just moved
Look
off
at that. You're falling apart. The state of you.
We're stuck with forever?
No. You're going, these people are going, these are bad films, and I'm going to talk about why they're bad. It's not, the most you could say is stuff like The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Less for Rise of Skywalker. But The Last Jedi does have dissenting opinions of both positive and negative. Look at Best v. Soups. How many negative and positive videos are there out there? I think Loverboy Media's review of it got like 1.3 million views of Batman v Superman.
You got negatives and positives. I don't think that one is being recommended over the other necessarily.
I want to make this as clear as possible that I am not here to just point fingers at all these people and say, you're doing it wrong, you're ruining the platform, because these are all people whom I love and respect. Without Red Letter Media, without YMS, there is no me. And as I keep saying, I'm doing it too, and I'm trying to understand why. All the channels I mentioned...
Why did you want to talk about Dahmer?
Yes.
You should ask yourself that.
After you finished watching the series, why did you go, I really want to talk about the negatives of Dahmer? What in your mind created that thought? What in your heart?
We did the Demon Slayer because we were just like, there's so much to talk about here.
Yes.
And we need to just get this out. It wasn't like a positive, negative views type thing. It was, let's talk about this thing. Because that's what
it sucks.
We're putting our opinion out there on the internet.
I never question why I do a thing in terms of content creation. I know why. I want to talk about thing.
You should not be questioning why you did a thing.
Why am I doing this particular video? Why aren't I doing a positive video?
Because that video, I believe, was like 25 minutes long. 25 minutes. That's a lot of scripting, editing, recording, all that stuff. And you never stop to contemplate, why am I doing this? That seems like a you problem, homie.
And what they create are just cogs in this big negativity machine. Which, speaking of machines, we have to talk about.
Can I also say, it's fine if you do the cut my words off thanks to the title thing once, but he's done it for every title sequence. It gets a bit tiresome.
That's right, we're going to talk about that nebulous thing called the algorithm.
Do you have access to the algorithm that will show you why it is recommending X thing to you?
Every video uploaded to this platform is filtered through. The thing that you've probably heard a ton of creators talk about already, and yet none of us are really sure exactly how it works. Like,
then how does he know it skews negative?
Yeah, I think it's for the best that people don't know how it works.
Yes, because they will absolutely try to game it.
Yes.
At this point, I'm not even fully convinced that YouTube knows exactly how it works, but if there's one thing that I know for certain, it's that the algorithm loves negativity. This isn't unique to...
Based on what?
Yeah. Mr. Beast. Look how popular he is. He doesn't go... He doesn't say negative film reviews, so I can only assume that he's talking about just flat out negativity.
Yes.
And Mr. Beast, legitimately one of the most popular.
YouTube either. I've used this clip of Frances Haugen, the Facebook whistleblower, before, but I think that the clip bears repeating here.
And one of the consequences of how Facebook is picking out that content today is that it is optimizing for content that gets engagement, a reaction. But its own research is showing that content that is hateful, that is divisive, that is polarizing, it's easier to inspire.
Divisive and polarizing is not the same as hateful. Mm-hmm. If you go, no, the Lion King movie was good, you are being divisive. You are creating a polarizing piece of criticism. Even though you're skewing positive.
People to anger than it is to other emotions.
You make videos talking positively about movies. Nobody panics. But you make one little video about Jeffrey Dahmer and put the Joker in the thumbnail and, well, everyone loses their minds. Jesus fucking Christ, what am I doing? And of course, it takes two to tango, right? Like, the algorithm would not be pushing these negative videos onto people if people stopped clicking on them, but that's not gonna happen because of...
Also, it's very weird that you're talking about the way Facebook's algorithm works when you're talking about YouTube's algorithm trying to skew negative.
Yeah.
Because those are two totally separate algorithms.
A little thing called negativity bias. That being a...
But what about positivity bias? It's the same thing. Regardless if I love X and I go to a channel going, X is great, that is positivity bias. If I hate Thing and person goes, Thing sucks in a video and I click on it, that is negativity bias. It's affirmation of a thing I already believe. Just someone else saying the things.
Cognitive bias.
One Piece, The Modern Odyssey. Almost 900,000 views.
And it looked like a terrible video.
It is Synopsis, boys. It's the same dude
Oh,
that
yeah,
made
yeah,
the
I'm
Demon
sorry.
Slayer guy.
I forgot they deleted your comment. Like a coward. And that's the type of thing where, hey, no negativity here, only positivity. But it's problematic.
Yeah. Because you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to take these things into account and learn from them and grow from them.
At least take them seriously to go, did they make a point with what they said? And if they did, let me evaluate their issues and if I agree with them and change them if I feel like they need to be changed. It's just, hey, here's some issue. Nope.
Mother's Basement. His most popular video is the brilliance of Death Note's potato chip scene. That's his most popular. Then he has four videos about SAO that are his next most popular. Konosuba, The Best Worst Girls, What's in an OP, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, The Oscars Don't Get Animation, The Problem with Horror Anime. Might check that out. I don't like him.
Yeah, that's the real problem. It's always come down to, I don't like him.
Yeah. And then it just goes negative, positive, review. Just
Here is Mark's 4 most watched videos. Attack on Titan, the colossal review. He skewed positive. Berserk, a massive review. He skewed positive. 10 worst animated moments in Dragon Ball Super. He skewed negative. And Dragon Ball Super Broly honest review. He skewed super positive. Because we actually watched that one. if you're looking for negative content creators, creating content on films that are a net negative in people's mind, of course you're going to see a lot of it. Of course there's going to be negativity bias. But if you find positive content creators speaking positively about things that most people view as a positive piece of media, you're going to get positivity bias. It is the same thing.
It's crazy how we just...
That being a cognitive bias that makes our negative experiences and feelings affect us more significantly than our positive ones. And
absolutely.
When you design your algorithm to prioritize engagement,
you don't know the thing algorithm. Now you can say prioritize engagement, but if I click on a single video of anything, I start seeing that content creator videos following that type of formula, regardless of if it's positive or negative.
Going to utilize negativity bias. The algorithm is...
You don't know what it utilizes, because it could utilize positivity bias.
Or it could just utilize, hey, you watched this thing, and now here's more of these things.
Again, alright, so I'm going to go to YouTube on a private browser and just look at whatever's being shown. Full episode, top U.S. government tunnels, cities of the underworld, beast fails of the year. The odds of this happening are 1 in 12 million. The best of Jeff Dunham, a Tibetan healing flute. Toyota's Tacoma replacement shocked the entire industry, which is positive. The worst natural disaster in 30 years. Early release, 11-year-old Eduardo impresses the judges. Sniper Wolf.
Ugh.
Like, what are we talking about here? This is... British high schoolers try American snacks for the first time.
That seems pretty interesting.
I saw a clip of it through Twitter. Yeah, they're just like, oh my god, this is a biscuit. This is the best thing I've ever had in my life.
That seems interesting.
Obviously not a human being. It does not care what emotion it elicits out of you in order to create engagement. It only cares about engagement. And when anger and negativity are the easiest ways to do that, that is what it is going to do.
Based upon Facebook, though.
Mm-hmm. And it's on top of that with the algorithm and just trying to get engagement. Again, if you click on a certain type of video enough times, the algorithm will go, okay, they want people talking positively about film, or they want people talking about film, or they want people talking positively. It's not... My algorithm is inundated with Phil because I watch a lot of DSP content. But you know what slips through every now and then? DSP himself.
Ew.
Doesn't skew negative. It's just DSP himself. The Daily Rap. I don't watch Phil's channel.
God bless you. I'm glad I don't get that.
And over time, as the algorithm continues to prey upon your cognitive biases, this creates a...
But what about the positive biases? Even though I think it's biases.
I don't think that somebody like a Demon Slayer channel would just go Demon Slayer, Demon Slayer, we're watching clips and stuff like that. I don't think that they're getting Just Stop's video.
No.
I don't think that they're going to click on that. I don't think that the YouTube algorithm is going to recommend that. Because I don't necessarily get recommended a lot of Demon Slayer positive videos. I don't get recommended like a lot of Naruto positive videos. Every now and again something will slip.
But funny
through
enough,
that,
I got recommended One Piece positive videos.
I
do not click on those things.
He said that he likes these people, so he must watch them. You'd think he'd be like, look at my recommendations and just scroll through them and just go, hey, I'm gonna watch a YMS video. Look at the recommendations on the side.
culture that essentially attempts at every moment to negate the user's impulse control. I swear to you, a lot of YouTube users just see videos or comments that piss them off, and it's like it activates something in them and overrides their brain. They don't even think about it. It's just autopilot. They click on the video.
But what about all the React channels where it's just like, oh, face, and they're clicking on that? Which are just people joking about things and...
Yeah, I don't... Is he gonna show an example?
They dislike it, and they leave an angry comment.
No. You're absolutely gonna get that. But what about the people that also just like it and leave a positive comment? What about the people, we talk about this all the time, where motherfuckers just rock up and just go, hey, it's a Demon Slayer video. I like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, I like this sword fight, blah, blah, blah. And they don't really talk about the video. Do we have any evidence that they didn't necessarily watch that video?
Which in turn incentivizes creators to make negatively slanted videos.
No, because again, we've showcased a lot of creators doing positively slanted video, and they get a lot of views. It's just truly, what are you looking for? Like, how many positive Demon Slayer videos are there, and how many views does it get?
Enough to make a Demon Slayer month. But he made a negative video, and did he expect people to negatively come in and just drop a, hey, this sucks, moving on? Because it didn't happen. This is a lot. I went to the newest, and it's a lot of, hey, good video. Hey, Jeffrey Dahmer. Hey, good Persona music. This isn't...
I recognized and I clapped.
I don't know what does he mean when he goes, people just rock up and... Let me go to... Because I can't go to that other bastard in his Demon Slayer video. But let me go to the positive one.
Oh, yeah, no.
Let me go to the negative one. Not negative. Not negative. You're too much. It comes off as fake. I don't think so. I think he's a bit expressive. I agree with most of your points. It's just mid. The source is being able to kill demons is explained. I love Demon Slayer, but I don't think it's good as people. Muff ain't watch a video. He gets a lot of comments. Oh my goodness. These are from 3 hours ago. This articulates very well some of my own issues. It's people agreeing with it. It's people disagreeing with it. It's a derisive The people that comment on things aren't always just going to be the people that agree with you, or always going to be the people that disagree with you. You're going to get a healthy, if it's something, because something like a hey, the Dark Knight is amazing. You're not going to get too many negative things about that, but you will get those. But it's going to be mostly I agree. I don't know what he means when I'm just harping on that. People rock up and just leave a negative comment and then just bounce when it's just. That's just not entirely true.
Planted videos literally incentivizes them through monetization.
But people are incentivized to do anything on YouTube for monetization. It could be positive things.
It's all about getting people to watch your video. And like you said, an obscure indie movie is not going to get as many clicks as, the new Avengers sucks.
Yeah. Even if you say the new Avengers is good and this indie movie is good, the indie movie is strictly not going to get as many views because it's not in the zeitgeist or the mind share of the populace at large.
People may not be interested in just hearing about it, even if they're going to watch it or not watch it or something. You're always going to get your hardcores just going, I'm going to watch whatever you put out, but you want to put out things that people want to watch, and things that people want to watch are the things that's popular, positive, negative, or otherwise.
And the dopamine hit of watching number go up and up and up and up and up. Let me just be honest.
We do not care about number go up. Please make number go down.
Honest with you here for a second. I'm sitting here thinking, why am I wasting my time making this video about a subject that I'm clearly very passionate about and invested in, that a video that I'm putting a lot of love and care into, that I think is important, that probably not a lot of people will watch. When I could
100K views.
I don't know why he think a lot of people won't watch this. If he puts the description, puts people in the thumbnail, he's talking about a thing like, hey, movie criticism shouldn't be negative. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it should not be negative.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't think that this would get a lot of views.
just make 8 or 9 more videos about why American Horror Story sucks and maybe be able to pay my rent or crawl my way out of debt. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself. If you were in my position, if you were sitting in this seat right now, what would you do?
I would do whatever my most popular viewed video was, no matter what it is.
If
I
you're
would
trying to be a YouTube person, you would ride that wave.
I would take whatever my top 5 things is just like, oh, this was of the time, so I just have to keep riding the wave of whatever's popular and talk about it.
If Chris Stuckman is seeing that his hilariosity reviews are getting the most views, of course he's going to lean more towards that.
If it's all about paying your bills and stuff.
Because that's what the people are going to come back for, to see you more. And then, hey, maybe they'll check out some of your other stuff. Maybe they won't, but they're always going to come back for that thing.
But here's the thing. You're talking about people that turned essentially their hobby of talking about movies into their business. And now your whole mindset right now is, how do I keep the business where it is or growing in order to keep paying my bills, to keep paying my employees? Because now this is no longer my hobby, this is work.
Mm-hmm. It's the mother's basement thing of, man, I would really love to talk about this anime that I really like, but I'm here talking about My Hero.
Because it's not going to get views.
So, if I was in your position and you want to make it to YouTube, yeah, you do the American Horror Stories. Me, myself, if I was just like, hey, I'm in a pretty good position, maybe people would like to hear about something I'm passionate about.
In the positive way.
And if you're like, hey, this isn't going to make me a whole lot of money, maybe you don't put as much time into that. Maybe you don't do as much editing and stuff. Just sort of like, hey, this is my passion thing. I'm going to do my big edited video, but every hour or two I'm going to go off to the side and do this and just sort of fiddle around with it or whatever. If that's what it is going to be. Again, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do. You ride the wave or you don't ride the wave. That's basically all it is. And it's up to you to decide what you want from your YouTube channel.
All of this is just affecting me mentally much more than it probably should. Like, every time I go to the grocery store and I'm standing at the checkout line and I glance over at the tabloids, I see them and I just think, these are just YouTube thumbnails. Like, these look like a lot of my thumbnails. It's all the same shit. It's a grocery store checkout line. It's the same schemes to try and get you to turn off your impulse control and just say, F it. Kit Kat bar, hell yeah. Wait.
King size Kit Kat bar 134, where we at?
Brad Pitt said, what? I gotta read that. And I suppose by deductive logic that...
Wait.
But that's a positive thing. We want a baby.
Yeah. It's... Are you complaining about people enticing you to engage in their product?
Like, he's not even talking about the Martha slams Felicity, she made a horrible mistake. It's the front cover, Brad and Jim, we want a baby, back together at last. How is this a negative? You're basically going, the thumbnail entices people to click regardless of the content, because, regardless if it's positive or negative, because the thumbnail and the title is what matters more than me trying to create a negative cover on Time or People or whatever this is.
I see nothing wrong. Because what are you gonna have, a blue square and just like magazine? No.
Stories include and just run down the story.
No, because then you just go, Brad Pitt's divorces Jen.
Yeah. They get back together.
No, I'm trying to think because I was gonna be like, stories include Brad Pitt, Oprah Winfrey, and then you just go, oh, there's something about Brad Pitt. Let me read this. Like that's already so.
Yeah, it's too enticing.
What could you possibly have? What is the issue with trying to get people to to click on your video?
And again, the cover's not negative in any way, shape, or form.
And even if it was negative, what's the issue if the thing is negative? And Oprah Winfrey goes off on white people, I'd be like, oh my goodness.
I'd be clicking with
What?
my
Let's
heart.
go. I don't care if that's a negative or a positive thing. That's a, hey, what the f did she say?
But
what's going on here?
It'd be the same thing if Donald Trump was like, I've turned the corner on trans people, trans rights. That's a positive thing. It's just like, I'd click on that too. Like, what changed you?
Sir, what?
What happened there?
You are in the twilight of your life. Are you trying to go to heaven? You trying to get right with the big man?
This is repentance. I'm going on death row. Bring a priest.
I repent for everything. I'm sorry about everything. We cool, Jesus? We good?
All right, give me the chair.
Front row seat. Let's go. Right hand man of Jesus. Me, the forgiven.
I gotta read that, and I suppose by deductive logic, that just makes me a tabloid journalist.
There's nothing wrong with being a tabloid journalist if that's your encouragement.
If you're reporting on the thing that you show,
Factual thing.
That old we'll go back to, it was like Bush smokes cocaine or something like that. Smokes cocaine.
Or
yes, I'm
hell
a
yeah.
in lame-o. I think it was a little further
yeah,
back.
To turn off your impulse control and just say,
I was still a little further back.
it's all
Bush on cocaine in the White House.
Yeah, so you just get a picture where he looks kind of goofy. You get an unrelated cocaine shot, and then this is the stuff that you should be railing against.
Yes, absolutely.
Because this is just all speculative. This isn't the thing that it's talking about. This is the thing.
This is purely, strictly to make people pick up the magazine and go, I gotta read that article because is Bush doing drugs in the White House?
And it's like, no, not well, or it's just speculation. But you're not in the White House. How do you know Bush doing cocaine in the White House? You don't know that. But something like, hey, Brad and Angelina are having a baby. It's like, there's a parasocial thing with celebrities, so you want to read about their happiness and go, oh, that's nice.
That's great.
I see nothing wrong with that. The Bush thing, that's where the issue lies. This is like, it's a good thing. And even if it was a factual negative thing, you want to see, is it somebody that you like and it's like, dang, I hope they get out of it? Is it something that you like and it's like, oh, word, they're like that? Somebody just released a doc on Team 4-Star and Lil Karibo, where I'm like, what's going on here? I read through it, I'm like, it seems kinda
Sketch.
I don't know about this. It's like, hey, they covered up for
Herbivore,
some dude,
Shady
and,
Box,
yeah, stuff like that. It's like, and then it's like, why didn't you publicly denounce them? It's like we did so privately. It's not like we necessarily have to.
That's a weird thing I don't get, where people must do it publicly for it to count. Even if they just immediately stop being friends when they find out, it's just like, no, you should have publicly said, I am no longer friends with this person, so we can give you ass pats for it.
I read that. I'm like, okay, I'm reading this not as a tab. I'm like, I'm invested in these people. I like or have liked these people. Let's see what's going on with this stuff. Factual, not factual. This is, I don't think this is a very good example of the tabloid thing.
I got
We're past the tabloid.
Anyway, we're going to be done talking about this now. And you're probably thinking, I spent all this time talking about YouTubers and the platform and the algorithm, but what about the movies we're shitting on? Aren't they really to blame? You know, aren't movies just getting worse and worse?
No, movies are not getting worse and worse, but they're specifically picking out movies where a large majority of the people agree that it is not a good movie.
There are more movies, so that means there are more chances of being negative.
Yes. I mean...
And it, like I said, being negative, it's a lot easier to talk about. It's a lot more fun to talk about. Sometimes it's a lot more fun to listen to.
I think in 2018 it was, I had watched 86 films in theaters. I don't think I watched half the films that came out that year. You have to understand.
Dying? Well, over the course of the past few years, you've probably heard prolific filmmakers like Steven Spielberg, or Quentin Tarantino, or Martin Scorsese.
I'm Martin Scorsese. Hello.
Talk about the death of cinema as it relates to things like streaming services, or...
I don't care what they think.
Yeah, no.
Honestly.
I understand they're prolific directors. They've created some amazing works in filmmaking. I don't care about their opinion in regards to streaming and the death of film. I care because they're all so many of them are about the experience of the film. Going to the movie sometimes sucks massive dong, licks enormous clit. Sometimes being at home is the preferable experience. Yeah. Oh, but you can't hear the pitter patter of the. I don't give a.
It's fine, but streamers like HBO Max threw my best filmmaker friends under the bus. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear what that's about. That seems more like. I don't know if they were shortchanged or cheaped out of some money or whatever.
Or promised something and then fired.
Movies aren't cinema, or how Disney has a stranglehold over the entire market and what it produces. And while it would be easy to just
Okay, Disney may have a stranglehold on the market and what it produces, but there are a lot of films being produced every year that are nothing like Disney films. Or the films they try to produce. Barbarian came out last year. Flew under the radar. Just came out. Most loved it. It got super popular off just the word of mouth.
And again, I don't really care about what Martin Scorsese has to say about Marvel films. That doesn't positively or negatively affect how I feel about the films or the TV shows or whatever.
Yes, this is one person's opinion. Now, their opinion may hold more weight because of their profession and the things they've created, but they are still just a person with an opinion that I either agree or disagree with, and in this case, I disagree with.
If Michael Jackson was like, yeah, hard rock and metal sucks, I'd be like, all right, well, you do you, Mike.
Marvel is nothing but the action flicks of the 90s and the 80s, but it's just the 2020s and the 2010s. Now, even if they come out more over a large course of time than just the summer, it's a summer blockbuster in the fall or whatever, they are nothing more than the action films of those times. Tell me the difference between Thor and Predator.
I've never seen Predator.
Yeah, Predator's a good movie.
Nope. I'll take your word on that.
And Aliens 2 is a good
Never
movie.
seen either of them.
Yeah, I Back to the Future?
Nope.
Back to the Future is so good.
I'll take your word on that.
Or
and maybe I'll watch them in my extremely limited amount of time.
Just juggling 8 things at once. One earbud is on a movie, one is on an album that you're trying to listen to.
I got a lot of music from the trip that I went on as well. I'm like, oh man,
all those manga recommendations I gave you.
There's not enough time in a day. If I could get my in 4 10-hour shifts, I'd have a whole day free. But no,
extra day free.
Furious.
They're stringing you along on that one.
Yeah, okay.
Don't throw up the deuces.
Yeah, okay, I'll see y'all. Y'all be good.
What's the time frame at this point before you're just like, oh, y'all are just basically not giving me this, so I'm out.
It's a year, and that year is coming up. I am within my extremely limited amount of time gonna start my whole car thing and get that going. So,
yep. Wow, why did all three of us start it at the same time?
Because it's bullshit.
It's dude. It's me waking up at 8:40 to get to work at 10:30 is stupid.
Oh no! I completely that was me in my old job. I completely understand, but I was, like 4 or 5 in the morning though. Big difference, little difference, but
I mean, but you're a late. I'm an early sleeper anyway.
Still,
it's truly coming up on your bedtime at this point.
But I would be getting home at like 10, 11. Those are some
and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting off work at 7 and getting in at 9:20. Like, what are we doing?
Stuff as old people complaining about how things aren't like the good old days. I think it would be a gross oversimplification to ignore that there definitely is a paradigm shift going on in the world of cinema. It's been
pause. But you should realize that it's also old people complaining about things that are not the way that they used to be.
So you could say there's a paradigm shift going on in movies, but it just seems like more people are going to movies or tickets cost more than they used to. Is this right now just adjusted for inflation? Because I couldn't tell you.
And what does this graph tell us? It just shows the most popular movies.
Really fascinating to see how something like changing the way in which we consume movies has changed our perception of movies. I think Martin's...
How so? I feel like recently it's changed the film going experience or the decision to go to a theater, because a lot of people will just go, I'll just wait for it to come to streaming. Beyond that,
couldn't you say that it improves the film going experience because you can rewind things that you missed? Because I remember there was a scene in Flash. I don't remember what the scene was, but somebody gave somebody else a look, and I was just like, oh, wait a second. And I went back to him like, yeah, that look seems kind of important. I don't remember what it was, but I remember that going back to it.
Scorsese,
I'm Martin Scorsese,
is right when he says that basically consuming movies the exact same way we consume social media has shifted the perspective of movies from art to content.
Which is...
What's the difference in the end?
Yeah, do people walk into Dumb and Dumber and go, I am experiencing a piece of art?
Or is this content to be watched?
Or is this just entertainment? Not everything needs to be art. I don't want
Not everything is going to be art.
Not everything is going to be art. What about the people? Now, I'm not going to turn your brain off, but I'm going, don't turn your brain to the highest setting to be like, art. I'm going to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's art time. It's like, no, I want to watch Turtles doing some funny things.
It was a good movie.
It's a very good movie. Chill out on the references and the music, but it's a very good movie.
The devaluation of cinema and on streaming platforms to the level of, quote, content, unquote. That's what it's become.
The goal of any...
Okay, devaluation of cinema. How does it devalue it?
Yeah.
Because all you did was show the sentence by the man that you've already quoted, as opposed to his explanation.
Yeah. Is it something like, hey, because it's on a smaller screen inherently, we don't need to spend as much budget on the effects because they're not going to be seeing it as crisp as on a big screen, so it devalues the experience? Because
when you're at home, you might be distracted by your phone, so you're not really paying attention to the film. What is it?
I'm sorry, I don't know, Mr. Scorsese.
Become
the goal of any streaming service is to have as much content available on their platform as possible.
But that doesn't mean they don't create good movies. Because again, Barbarian was a good movie. The Knives Out was funded by Netflix. It's a good movie. Not Knives Out, Glass Onion. Sure, they definitely want content. They want as much content as possible. But that doesn't mean that the content they're creating is not art strictly because they need content.
It's not just a pump and dump, hey, let's just get whatever.
Theaters need content. If there was just a month where filmmakers went, for the month of February, or companies went, for the month of February, we will not release films, movie theaters would be scrambling. Because they need content for people to come and watch the films. To come to their business. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you're going to, it is a business strictly to try to get your money.
Yeah, that's what it's always going to be. So no matter what it's going to be. Hey, Avatar, you like Avatar. Here's a thing that's like Avatar from the creators or the producers or something. Hey, watch that next. When you walk out of a movie theater, they show a bunch of posters. Like, hey, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming up. And you go, hey, yo, Five Nights. October, I can watch that. And you come back in October for Five Nights.
No, you don't, because it comes to Peacock the same day.
You could do both. Who would do both? Content minds. They could be in the theater watching it and then on their phone also watching it. That's the dystopian future. Man, I beat the shit out of somebody just on their phone, just like this with the screen in front of them. Just, why you on your phone? And it's like, are they watching the movie? No, I'd be like, are they recording the movie? No, they're watching it.
Yeah, would an usher even come up and be like, you can't be recording this movie for 5 nights since it's already on streaming anyway?
What would be the argument for the usher to... Because it's like, hey, your phone is distracting, but it's the movie that I'm watching in real time, so...
Yeah, if they're in the back row just watching it, who are you distracting?
That fictional thing is making me so mad just thinking about it.
This person that totally doesn't exist has pissed me off.
But I also kind of want to do it. Because it's just
and
so insane.
Get a second phone to take a picture of you.
Because money.
Did he get knocked out?
He got knocked out. That was on me.
Hey, as always.
Not as always, since I think this is the second time it ever happened.
Out of 2.
As possible. Because money. And we...
Yes, but again, theaters are the same. Companies are the same.
There is no holy kind company that's just like Nike's. Nike's puts out $120 shoes that cost them $20 to make. Maybe. They want your money. These places want your money.
Do you think these filmmakers would create these films and go, sell the tickets for $0? They just need to experience art.
No, people like Avatar. They want a convenient way to watch Avatar. They're going to come to us to watch Avatar. And then while they're watching, after they finish watching Avatar, they go to sleep watching Avatar. Something else is going to play and we somehow make money from that.
See a ton of landfill, forgettable movies being...
But they go to theaters too!
Yeah.
These are nothing but the direct-to-video movies of the past!
This just moved over to the new platform.
Pumped and dumped onto streaming services again and again. Since
Are those films bad? Are they good? Are they cinema? Are they art? Are they schlock?
How is the kissing booth less of a piece of art than a Kill Bill? You gotta explain that. Not just go, here it is. You know this movie is bad because you watched the negatively skewed video on it, as it was recommended by the YouTube algorithm.
Are forced to intersect at all times despite having wildly disparate goals, it follows that as the supply of movies increases, the demand for them starts to decrease. And when we live in a world where we're...
No, I did. Then why did all the recent films you showed be in the top 10?
Demand for movies go down? What?
Yeah, that's a crazy
That's
assertion.
nuts.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, high key.
You should, if anything, and I know we got the negative blank years of 2020 and 2021, but you should be like, in 2017, movies all up made $60 billion. 2018, movies all up made $20 billion. Look, it's going down. And you show some sort of evidence. Don't just go, supply goes up, demand goes down, because there's just so much choice. No, people are going to hone in on what they want to watch. Barbie made $1 million. What exactly?
What a
$1
flop.
million. It made, oh, that's so much money. No, but it made $1 billion.
And Oppenheimer is $500 million. Meanwhile, Tom Cruise's last the Mission Impossible, Flash. People are more selective with the movies they will go to a theater to see. I had this discussion with somebody back in the day before all the streaming stuff. You could get away with a mediocre superhero movie and it still make bank. But now people see these films and go, oh, that's a mediocre superhero movie. I will wait for it to come to streaming and I won't spend my dollars on it.
Time.
I would rather go see something else that interests me that might be good. Like that horror movie I want to go see, but there's nobody that wants to go see it.
so inundated with so much content, it becomes hard not to see it all as meaningless, and it becomes...
No, because if there's something that I want to watch, I'm gonna watch it. Eventually, obviously.
I watched Poker Face, and I was like, my God, this is a fantastic TV series. Absent of me going, I'm watching it on Peacock. This isn't cinema. This isn't how things are supposed to be. I do not give a...
There are hundreds of thousands to maybe 1 million different manga out there. But every now and again, I'll go to my anime list and go, all right, Sket Dance. What's the recommended?
Same.
What's the thing that people will recommend that are like Sket Dance? Oh, this? And then that leads down another hole and another hole. And I'm like, okay, now I've got 6 or 7 new manga based upon the thing that this and this and this and this chain that I've gone down. I'm not like, oh, there's too many manga out there, so I quit.
I literally just added a manga to my list where it's about a boy who gets who's just like, I'm never gonna I want to leave my mark on this world so bad. He's like 14-year-old, and he gets a disease, first disease of its kind ever, and he's like, they're going to name this after me. I'm gonna die from this, but people will always remember me. And then a girl ends up with the same disease, and her diagnosis is she's further along, so she's gonna die quicker. So he goes, the only way to salvage this is to kill her before she dies from the disease. Yeah, and that's the entire manga. Him just trying to kill her. I came out of nowhere.
There's too many choices.
It's too many. Yeah. There are too many choices, but that just means I gloss over the ones that don't interest me.
Do not interest me. Hey,
ones that used to go, hey, I might want to go see that. I may have gone to see that. Now things that are like, I might go see that, skew closer to, I'm not gonna go see that. I'd rather see something that I absolutely want to see, that absolutely does sound like it's interesting to me.
You're not gonna just walk into a snowman nowadays.
Oh, God. Guy, I could not tell you, 2 things about Snowman, and the first would be the title.
It's very difficult not to posture ourselves above all of it. A lot of times, the controversy and discourse surrounding a film or show is well more entertaining and interesting than the show or film itself.
But that's part of the problem. If the show or film is bad, it's more entertaining to see somebody rip on it than to watch the bad thing for some people.
Because it explains what's bad about it, how it could be done better. There's a lot more than just, here's the thing, man, this is bad. And you're just sitting there just going, this is bad, I'm not enjoying myself.
Do you know what time that liquor store up there closes on Livernois?
Why would I?
Because they got a sign up front that says when it closes, but I know some of those are just weekend hours. I don't know if it closes at 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't that's
because I am 1,700 steps away, and that's about there and back. And I just want to see if they have Doritos crackers for when I'm done with my fast, because it's the only store that has the Doritos crackers I've seen.
Watch.
What?
Oh, it's crooked like that.
Oh, because I keep it loose on my arm.
Why? Ew.
I like keeping it loose on my arm. I don't know why.
Give my watch back.
I'll tell you.
No. Take it off. It's mine now.
I'll tell you exactly why. I kept it super tight, and I got a tan.
Oh no, that happens. That's just a rip. That's watch life.
So I wanted to go up and down my arm so I don't get as big.
Yeah, but now you're just like.
I have no problem with that, sir.
Does that Dollar General have? That Dollar General doesn't have, but I think that Family Dollar does.
What?
Have the crackers.
I went up there recently. I ain't seen them.
Okay, never mind. Then I guess I just lied.
I wonder if some online store has them or something.
Cause probably buy them in bulk.
God, those things are, dude. In movies destroy me because I had to buy a popcorn maker, that air popper, and I'm like, I was looking up everything. I was like, oh my god, I want to do so many things with popcorn.
Why would you have to buy a popcorn?
Because I love popcorn.
That doesn't speak to why you have to buy the thing.
Because I
you
love
introduced this as the movies, and now I have to buy it. I
smelled the popcorn and the butter, and I went, my God, I want popcorn so bad. So I needed to do something with popcorn.
Instead of just buying the popcorn.
I can't eat popcorn.
I know, but you bought a thing to procure popcorn.
Yes, and it's going to be cheaper in the long run than buying popcorn.
So if
I'm buying Jewish candy.
If I were to say that sentence, your eyes would roll out of your head and up the street.
Because you are a noted skin flake.
I know that. And so why is it surprising when it happens?
It's not surprising. It's tiresome. There's a difference. It's expected and annoying.
I'm going to invite you in my house, but I know you're going to steal. And when I steal, it's like, well, I'm not surprised. I'm just
so annoyed by it.
Just like knew this was gonna happen.
It's the depth to
not.
You do it. It's just like, I know this mother steals from me. It's usually just like a cup or a bowl or something. And then I wake up and you're hauling out my TV. I'm like, mother, what are you doing? It's the depths to which when you're buying Jewish candy at 25 cents because it was off because of after Hanukkah or something. That's what I'm talking about.
Kosher.
I bought a popcorn maker because I love popcorn, and I can do more things with popcorn and popcorn flavor than I can just buying wholesale. And in the long run, it will be cheaper and healthier for me.
I'm just saying.
You went. My favorite time of the year. After Halloween, after Easter.
After holidays, them candies is popping, homie.
What's good?
It's go time.
How was your popcorn, man?
What popcorn?
The Trix one.
The Trix?
Yeah. You bought Trix popcorn?
I'm all about flavored popcorns these days.
Yeah, you're ripping me for the...
No, you're about making your popcorn.
You can make the popcorn. You got all those shakers and...
No,
I've been looking up so many.
Drink the bleach.
I've been looking up so many cheese powders for it. Oh, I'm gonna go nuts when this fast.
I can't wait for that to just be pushed to the side and just you buying smart food popcorn. Like, wait, whatever. Yeah, the Trix one's trash.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the cinnamon toast crunch one. Pretty good.
I like it. It's good.
What? How can the Trix not be? You were right about that.
He
buys so many of them.
Because they're delicious. Like I said, I'm about it nowadays. That's my thing. I'm the popcorn guy.
non-existent collar? You have to pop the shoulder straps of your tank top.
I can do that. That's fine. The kids do that nowadays.
I have never seen a single kid do that.
I can't.
Yeah, you can't respond to comments.
Muff in the Discord coming at my neck for saying I like Rukia. And then like, no, you don't.
Rukia? What?
Yeah, you like the kid. I'm like, no, I don't. I said I like Rukia. Yeah, okay. And I'm just like, there was something I could say that I could word. I didn't know how to word it because I'm like, they're just gonna rip me apart if I say
kill
that.
me.
And it's like, there's no point in even saying it because it's just gonna make things worse. But it's a good comeback. But I can't say it because it's over.
What would the comeback? It doesn't even matter now.
It doesn't matter. There's a character named Lilynet. I think her name is.
While you're looking that up, Kris, do you know what time that liquor store closes up on Livernois?
It's cold now.
Rip.
I don't want to break my streak of 10,000 steps, but I don't know where to walk. I want to just walk up and down the block.
Oh, just go on the elliptical.
No, that doesn't count. It counts it as elliptical exercise, and
But those count as steps.
sometimes they don't.
Should go up.
Depending on where you put your hand.
Should go up and down the stairs. Down count?
Yeah, that would count. I might do that.
So there's a character named Lilynet.
Oh,
And it's like, this is the in Coyote Stark's partner. And I'm like, there's a fully clothed, covered up little girl, and then there's this basically butt naked girl. Why y'all saying I like the covered up one? Well, there's this one. And I'm like, I can't word this correctly.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that is kind of.
If y'all are trying to cook me correctly.
Right. But y'all ain't even doing it right. Muff is...
Y'all got the oven on 250 for a turkey.
Here's this one. And it's like, y'all talking to me about this. Just like, hey, because I said I liked her. Because I like her personality. And then there's this buck naked girl. And y'all just like, not even... Y'all saw Bleach. But y'all lazy is the thing.
Like,
that's what it is.
Like Bleach.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, no, alright.
It's horrible.
Horrible design.
So yeah, I was trying to figure out how to word that, but I'm just like, why would I go for the covered up girl when there could be this one, huh, idiot?
Yeah, that's not the slam you think it is.
No, it's not. And I'm just sitting there, just like type, erase, type, and I was just looking at it like, how could they spin this? Erase. And I'm like, I give up. There's nothing I can do.
I had a slam, but it's not gonna work in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna try the Reese's popcorn, but it's gonna be.
I'm about to buy them more tomorrow.
Yeah,
they're very good. They're very delicious.
Though, yesterday I was super nauseous, so I'm like, maybe I've said it before. I don't think my body.
Oh, right.
You
I told you guys I'm about to quit my job, so I told 2 people. That thing I know came in. Oh, congratulations on college, KB. How you know? Oh, someone told me. Who told you? Oh, I just heard around. I know you mother.
Yeah, snitches.
Yep.
Loose lip.
That's why you just. No, yesterday the whole day people were like, "Yeah, I heard you were leaving."
No, that's why you just put your head down and then one day you just go, "Hey, yo, see you."
Yep. I did that, and my manager was like, "It's nothing to do with me." And I was like, "No."
No, when I quit my Logic College job, I was like, "No, this is everything to do with y'all."
Let me YouTube video it where it's just like pointing out all the faults of this place.
But they do ask me, hey, what's wrong with this apartment? I'll list it down. Like, y'all didn't give me no one. You left me in that apartment by myself for damn near a whole year, 8 months. And you said, figure it out. That's what they did. And I'm like, y'all
never be good.
Yep. Or just ask for a raise because you're needed at that point, and you just go.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, then what y'all got?
I would ask for a.
You should have asked
reasonable,
for those 8 months.
Yeah, I will ask for a reasonable raise
now.
No, I would ask for a reasonable raise because they already know you're willing to quit. You're ready to quit.
I'm
I would ask for a reasonable raise, just like give me an extra $4-5, or
that's not reasonable.
That's not reasonable.
I think that's reasonable.
That's like you're in the manager tier at that point.
Yeah, that's honestly, yeah.
Hey, what do you think you are?
I'm not a manager.
You're the head of a department.
No, I'm not.
What are you?
I'm just a specialist. I'm not head of the department.
Who's the head of the department?
Some girl.
Okay.
Ew.
Yeah.
Is she there with you working?
Get her out of here.
Oh hell no.
What does she do?
Do what every manager do.
Basically nothing.
Bacon.
Okay then.
Bam.
You are the manager.
Cham music.
I am not the manager.
Again.
Equal rights.
It's an amount where they would
Give you
think
equal
about it.
Right.
Listen, I don't.
Are you serious with that?
No, I heard some shit in music. I'm like, what are you talking about?
This man had cooked up a whole abuse scenario in his head. We're sitting here talking about trying to get you more money or getting you out of that place. And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna hit you.
I hope that was quiet enough that it doesn't get picked up.
Oh, it does. Everything is boosted.
Equal rights. I'll give you an equal right. Oh, I'm gonna get cooked. I hope they skip once Kris comes in. It's like, because you're gonna miss that whole Lily Net thing.
Yeah, so
Oh, but they can't show pictures of her on the Discord. I'm banning you, because that's borderline.
like I said, I don't know if my body's just not.
Yeah, you might just not be built for it.
Yeah,
It might not be it for you.
I might need to just do like 4 or 5 days instead of trying to do a 30.
Fasting?
Yeah, fasting is easy, dude.
I don't wanna.
It gets easier the longer
For
you
that-
do it, and then it doesn't, and then it does.
For that first 7 days, I felt almost nothing. It was just yesterday and today where I was just like, whoa, what's going on?
I remember I did 3 days, and I'm like, ugh, you guys I'm just bored at this point.
Yeah, boredom is a big thing.
But you realize how much you eat when you're bored. And that's the big problem. You're like, oh, I'll get a snack. Now you're just not getting a snack. You just find something else to occupy your time.
Now they're talking me down to leaving in September.
No. There's nothing to talk down to.
Yeah.
You can talk down to this, Zip.
Yeah, look down, talk down.
Down, that's sexual harassment being. What are you doing?
It can be consensual.
If you immediately go talk down, Zip, there's no way to consent from the other party. There's no time for consent. It's already being whipped out.
These things come fast. Followed by silence and moving on. We need to get back to this. It's getting late. I'm getting sleepy. And you're getting out of here.
Hashtag Kris.
Don't hashtag Kris. I will literally hide any comment that goes hashtag Kris.
That's so.
I will literally hide any comment.
This is my first time period in like months.
And
And that's Kris.
yeah,
Get out of here! Get out!
But really, in regards to commodification and oversaturation, is Netflix really any different to the VHS boom of the 90s?
Oh,
like,
never mind.
do you see how many terrible videotapes that Red Letter Media still has yet to watch in their office? We've been doing the pump and dump thing with home video releases for a while. I guess you could argue that the difference is that physical releases were more profitable than streaming, at least as far as we're aware. It's more profitable. It was considered like a secondary box office market. And
yeah, I can't make that argument. I don't know the numbers.
And what does it matter to if it's art or not? The valuation of film. If it made more money for companies.
so since the home video market is essentially completely relegated to streaming now, there aren't really a lot of people buying physical media, then we've been...
Do you have any evidence for that?
I'm sure there's some study where the numbers go down.
I would like to see that study. I would like to see the Blu-ray sales of Avengers 1 versus Avengers Endgame.
Seeing a paradigm shift in terms of what films studios are willing to make, as you may have seen in this viral clip of Matt.
Hey, no. Studios are willing to make any film they think they can get a profit out of. Mm-hmm. Whether that's B-movie schlock that they are making specifically for Netflix, or whether that's a big blockbuster summer movie. Or whether it's
just a dumb horror movie that costs $2 million to make, and they're like, we're gonna make $5 million, and we're gonna be good with that.
Or some dumb comedy, or it's just like, hey, it's a road trip, and it's 5 friends just on a road trip to somewhere, and it cost us $5 million, and we may see a good return on it.
And on Hot Ones,
the DVD was a huge part of our business, of our revenue stream, and.
See, you're talking about revenue streams and all this extra. The point of this part was talking about is filmmaking being devalued and all this extra stuff.
Yeah, this I don't think that 20th Century Fox making money means that I'm gonna like Mr. Bean more or less. I don't know if it's like, are they more willing to make more Mr. Beans with more money based upon the DVD sales? I don't know. I don't know what point you're trying to make here necessarily.
Technology has just made that obsolete. And so the movies that we used to make, you could afford to not make all of your money when it played in the theater because you knew you had the DVD coming behind the release. And 6 months later, you'd get a whole nother chunk. It would be like reopening them.
But wouldn't it be like you're selling the rights to that to a Netflix and you're going to get that money?
It may not be the same.
Yeah, I don't know what the money is for one versus the other.
Does the Blu-ray sales, DVD sales, and streaming offset what would have just been DVDs back in the day?
I don't know, and I don't know how much knowledge Mr. Matt Damon has into this, because that seems more like the corporate end of things.
I think he owns a production company, so he might have some. He might have some thoughts on it.
Movie almost, and when that went away, that changed the type of movies that we could make.
Franchise filmmaking has been
I don't agree with that. I think that's kind of a defeatist mindset, because we see that through this summer, there's been superhero movies, there's been big action movies, these type of films that are specifically made to be viewed, popcorn flicks, and they flopped. And then here's Barbie making $1 billion. I don't know if it necessarily changed the types of films you guys made. And of course, I'm coming from an ignorant place because I'm not making films and you are. But what is the difference between a movie that came out this year and a movie that came out in 2001? Movies in general. What are the differences between them? Because we've had low-level comedies come out. We've had the mid-level dramas come out. I don't know what the difference would be.
And it's... I'm wondering, what is it about... Because he goes, movies make more on the back end, so we can afford for them not to make as much in the... What do they do in terms of, like, how do they plan for that? Why wouldn't they just go...
I don't know if they plan for it as much as it's not a big deal if we don't make everything back in the box office. So if you have a $50 million budget and your film made $53 million, well, that's not that big of a deal because we're going to make that extra $20 million through the DVDs or whatever.
But you can still do that with the stream. But I just don't know the market behind it.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. And I would like more evidence of that instead of just this small clip of Matt Damon going,
stream bad for money.
My chicken wings.
the box office for so long now that I look at the top 10 highest grossing films of all time and I get really, really depressed. But
Why?
this is also due in part.
But that's popcorn flick type stuff. You're not gonna get some drama being the highest grossing outside of Titanic. That was a.
But it's also a spectacle movie.
Yes. You're not gonna get even Barbie. Barbie's not gonna become. It's not gonna crack this. It might crack the 10th spot. 1.5
I can
mil.
see that.
Yeah.
But this is also an older one.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know. I'm just lying. I'm just talking.
Yeah, you're just talking. You're talking bush. Like, The Lion King is a horrible movie, but it's the 8th highest grossing of all time? That's disgusting.
But yeah, I would like to hear why he's saddened by this list.
To cognitive bias. Recency effect.
I'm sorry, what?
But this is also due in part to cognitive bias. Recency effect, aka you're going to remember what happened 5 seconds ago well more clearly than you are going to remember what happened 5 years ago. When we're asking
Not
ourselves,
necessarily, because I don't remember too much about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. But ask me about Dragon Ball Z. And I could tell you quite a lot about a Dragon Ball Z.
I've only seen Fairy Tail once, and I saw that a lot earlier than I saw Jujutsu Kaisen. I can remember a lot more about Fairy Tail than Jujutsu Kaisen. Could that be due to negativity? Could be. I'm trying to think of what else I've only seen or watched once. Let's skew more towards a positive.
I was about to say Mushishi, but
no, that was.
Yeah, that was before you said let's skew positive.
It was super.
But I feel like a lot of your positives are, oh my god, I love this thing, as opposed to, yeah, that thing was pretty good.
I have on my anime list. I forgot. Because I was just going like, how do I tell what I watched? Hey, dear, are you kind of stupid? Yeah. What did I watch around that time? What example did I use? Jujutsu Kaisen. Change 1, 2, 3. I remember a lot more about that, and I like Change 1, 2, 3.
As you should.
You know, the ending was what it was.
Gamblefish.
Gamblefish. I remember a bunch of those games. I remember skipping all the mahjong stuff. And I watched it and I read that way before Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not. That's not exactly always how it works.
Yeah, you talked about things you remember negatively before Jujutsu, things you remember positively before Jujutsu.
Your first love versus somebody that you just had like a 1 week fling with. You're gonna remember a lot more about what movies that first love liked and what y'all did together than just like. I took that bit to KFC and she ordered a sandwich with no pickles, and I love pickles.
movies are truly getting worse, and we're looking back at all of these movies of the past.
See, you're talking about some of the greatest movies.
Yeah. That's not fair.
That's not fair. What about in 1999 where they released, I don't know, Freddy 6 or something?
Or the shot-for-shot Psycho remake. This is the whole thing that we talk about with the Attitude Era, where people were just going Austin, Stone Cold, Mankind. But it's like, okay, name
Austin, Stone Cold.
Austin, Stone Cold, all three of them. But name like 3 Too Cool matches. You don't know those matches. You just remember the dancing. But yeah, have they won the titles? Who did they win the titles from? Oh, but you remember in Mankind getting thrown off the stage, off the cage.
Hey, who were the new members of the NWO when they came to WWE?
Booker T, Big Show, X-Pac. I feel like there was 1 or 2 more.
There was one more. There was one more.
White or black?
White. Main eventer.
I got nothing.
Shawn Michaels.
Was it?
Yeah, because he's Sweet Canned Music.
That stable stinks. This sounds horrible.
But who's thinking about it?
Yeah. There's a bunch of things that fly through the radar. You're gonna remember the big things, but not those stinky
mid-level
the
negative.
that tried to ape off of the Blob, where they just or the Fly, where they just go the horse, and it's like a man fusing with a horse or whatever. You gotta remember these things, but this is not a fair comparison.
With reverence and.
But okay, are we talking about the Disney sequels that would be coming to VHS and all of that? That were complete trash, schlock trash? No, you're talking about The Godfather, Goodfellas, Indiana Jones. Is there no movies within the past 5 years that you think is a top 10 movie of all time? Because I would submit at least 2.
Looking at all of the current films with
Look at this trash you're putting up! This is so disingenuous!
Get in there, homie. You prove your point no matter how you gotta do it. Get in there. Goodfellas versus Multiverse of Madness. Who comes out on top?
This is complete disingenuous bullshit. I cannot believe you laid this out like this. I can't believe this. Literally cannot.
In anger, we're forgetting about so many things from the past. We are looking at the highlight reel, not the entire picture. You look back at the highest grossing films of years past, and there's just so many of them that we forget about completely. And I'm not even...
Why would we forget about them? There are people, I'm sure, that love Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing the thing that we thought he was doing. I think he's doing the thing that we thought he was doing first.
Saying that any of the films I'm about to list are definitively bad, but I really don't hear people going around saying things like, man, movies used to be so much better back in the day. I'm talking Airport 1975. I'm talking Flashdance, the best little whorehouse.
People love Flashdance.
Yeah, okay, he might be saying what we're saying, yeah. Okay.
In Texas, fucking Shampoo. The entire conversation surrounding the filmmaking landscape of today versus the filmmaking landscape of 50 years ago is so deeply entrenched in our cognitive distortions and biases that it is damn near impossible at this point to have any semblance of an objective conversation about.
Now, taking away that, taking away the thing, who's talking about films now that were around back then for that Airport or the Flashdance or something like that? What does he mean when he's just going, people aren't bringing up these, they're bringing up the big things?
Who's bringing up big things from 2007? They're not talking about it because the movies of now are what they're talking about because they're here now. They always have their feelings based on the previous movies. That's totally fine. What? All right, I'm just going to look up the highest grossing films of 2007.
That was right before I graduated high school, so I don't remember anything. That's not good.
Spider-Man 3. Shrek the Third. Transformer.
In year of 3.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. That's the third one.
What the
Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix.
That's the third one.
The Bourne Ultimatum. 300. Ratatouille.
300?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yep.
I remember seeing that in Spanish class. I guess that could have been the next year.
Yeah.
Huh.
I Am Legend and The Simpsons movie. Who's talking right now about The Simpsons movie? Who's talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, high-key? Except that there might be... No, they canceled the reboot that was going to be the female lead. The Bourne series.
I guess this could be what he's talking about in terms of recency bias, where people are only talking about the things that... I don't know what he means, but let's hear
about it. Some of my favorite films ever period, have released within the last 10 years. And yet, my own cognitive biases like negativity bias or recency effect or...
But what about positivity?
Just my general disdain for the oversaturation of big budget franchise filmmaking has me thinking about things like Jurassic World Dominion or The Rise of Skywalker.
Pause. Why are you thinking about those instead of the things that you like?
Now, with us, we love screeching about things we hate.
Very fun.
But I also love talking about things I love. I just have less reasons usually to talk about things I love.
I don't think about Bleach when I'm not talking about Bleach.
No.
I think about Sket Dance quite a lot. I think about Rokudo's Bad Girls quite a lot. Because, hey, y'all, read or watch Rokudo's Bad Girls. Seriously.
Until the ending.
No, double the ending. Just accept the fact that
it's bush.
It's bush! And I don't like it as bush, but it's... I need somebody to talk to him about this, but nobody's seen it, so I can't talk to nobody about it.
I will start reading it tomorrow.
Hey, look at that. You better pick the right girl, because there is...
Never mind.
No. You just need to know that there is a correct choice. There's a secondary correct choice that's even more correct than the first choice somehow. And then there's a third choice that is also acceptable. And there's no other choices. So you better pick correctly, or this is just over.
I'm gonna get yelled at, y'all.
No, you're not, because you're gonna pick the correct choice, or you're gonna pick the secondary choice that's even more correct than the first choice. Because those are the only two choices, except for the third choice, which is also an accessible choice, and then there's no other choices.
I'm gonna pick the wrong one.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna pick the weirdest one, and you're gonna be like,
you've been pretty spot on certain things. So
certain things is the issue.
Yeah, no,
not all things.
You got a 3 in 7 chance, but which is really a 2 in 7 chance, but it's really a 1 in 7 chance because there's only one choice that's correct, except for the secondary choice, which is more correct.
And the third one is
totally acceptable, except it's not because there's only one choice, which is the second choice, which is the first choice.
And I just sit there and I go, maybe we should just be done making movies now. Maybe it should just be over.
No. Watch the things that you like. Think about the things that you like. Don't engage with the things that you don't like if you don't like them.
Or you don't like the feeling it gives you where you can't do anything but think about those films.
Do you think that the reason why you're thinking about it because there's more to think about in those movies than the other movies that you like? What's making you think about those? You can't just say it's recency bias. You can't just say it's negativity bias. Because if you watch your favorite movie and then the least favorite movie or the Jurassic Park or something, you think you're going to be thinking about Jurassic Park? You think you're going to be thinking about, dang, why can't this be like my favorite movie?
Really, really try to keep in mind that things aren't always changing for the worse. Sometimes they are simply changing. And yet, again, when I look at films like Rise of Skywalker or Jurassic World Dominion, it is so hard to not feel personally insulted. Like these...
Another one of these people is just like, it's a personal insult to me because you release a bad film.
Yeah, no.
I love the Jurassic Park series.
That film exists absent of you.
And will continue to do so.
Long after you have passed.
These movies think that I am stupid, and they are laughing all the way to the bank with my money. It is so hard.
I don't think that J.J. Abrams set out to make a movie to make you feel stupid.
This is just like when you were like, oh, I don't think the Plinkett guys were set out to make a thing where the internet... They're not like, hey, this is a film that we're just milking suckers.
Yeah, no. We're going to make... They probably go into it going, we're going to make the best possible film that we're going to make, but we need to make it as accessible as possible. So we need to pull it back a little bit. Maybe not have as many themes as it were. But I don't know what these people are thinking. That's all I can think of when I think. But I don't think that they set out to make a bad movie or a dumbed down movie such that it's just like the audience will be treated like children. I think that they try to make the best.
And we're laughing at the bank with their monies.
And they just try to make the best film that they can. And maybe studio gets in the way. Maybe budget gets in the way. We don't know what they are. But you just going, they're trying to make me feel stupid. It's like, you need to... stop. Don't make films personal like this. It's a piece of entertainment. You're thinking about it as art, and it's offending you because it's not what you want.
It's not quote unquote art to you.
Yeah, I don't.
Not to just rip them to shreds.
I mean, I don't think Child's Play 2 is art, but I love that movie. It means nothing to me if a bad movie comes out today. It doesn't mean I love Child's Play 2 any less. I still love Child's Play 2. I don't love Child's Play 2 less because I watched Annihilation and I'm like, oh my god, this is a fantastic movie.
Play into them in these hour-long video essays that I could possibly make that would provide all this catharsis, not just for me, but probably for an audience of people that would be more than willing to watch that, you know? More than willing to support that. And it would make me feel really good making it, and it would make everyone feel good watching it, and it would feel good to see all those people watching it. But that's kind of my entire point here. The goal of criticism should not be to destroy...
Okay, the goal of criticism shouldn't be to destroy, but you just talked about how it would be catharsis for you and for all these other people, and it would feel good to make it and be something that you enjoy doing it. What's the issue there?
Films. Film criticism should not be negative. Not to say that you shouldn't have negative critiques of a film, but that film criticism should not be this negative force that seeks to destroy movies to the cheering of millions.
Okay, what movies are they trying to destroy? The ones that are already bad? You're basically going, hey, don't cheer at the person stomping a Mr. Beast burger because, oh, there's suits going on. Going, this is terrible trash and blah, blah, blah. Don't cheer for that person because that's just negative reinforcement and negative bite. Okay, but it's a terrible burger that's undercooked. So what should I do?
Yeah, what's the options here?
What should these people do when these terrible movies come out?
What level should we try to meet them at? What are our options here? It's a bad movie. It's a thing that I did not enjoy. Here are the reasons why I didn't enjoy it. Nah, don't do that.
People love movies, right? Like that's why we're doing all this. That's why we are picking them apart and analyzing them and having all this online discourse about them. It's because we love them. Because we respect the art form and we want to see it get better and grow and thrive. It's not just to feel better about ourselves, to feel intellectually superior. Like we do want movies to get better, right? We all want to reach that state of utopian bliss where movies are...
And you know how you make films better? To showcase, hey, this is why this film sucks. Maybe if there's somebody watching this, don't do this thing.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. It's just learn from this thing. I remember, it was the Kong director or something. Mm-hmm. He watched Cinema Sins. Was just like, yo, this is
trash.
Suck my nuts. What are you doing? This isn't anything. You're giving me nothing here. So if it's something like, if you watch something like H-Bomber and you saw his breakdown of the video game, the Deus Ex, and you go, wow, this is a lot of negative things about this game. I'm making a game. Maybe I don't do it. There's a lot to learn from bad things. There's a lot that you can learn. Hey, don't do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why this doesn't work.
Whatever you take from it is what you're going to take from it. And it could help improve the thing. Here's part of the issue. If there's not somebody going, hey, this is trash, and other people going, yes, I agree, this is trash, then people are just going to think that this is what people want.
The trash is just going to be sitting there just going, oh, nobody's complaining, so this is good.
I guess people like it. I guess people are enjoying it. If you don't have anything bad to say about it, I guess I'll just make the same type of thing.
And then we just get more Demon Slayers where it's just pretty visuals and no story and no characters behind it. It's just we get more Hiro Mashima pump and dumps.
The pumping is dumping it.
and I
laying his seed everywhere over every page.
One of the best things about the channel is when people legitimately come up and just go, I think about these things now. And it's like, good. I'm not saying, hey, hate Naruto because I hate Naruto.
Absolutely
no,
not.
Think
Never.
about Naruto.
And if you come to the conclusion that you hate it, absent of me or the things I say, that's just the way it went. If you come to the conclusion that despite all the things I say, you still like it or still think it's good on you as well. If you want to have a discussion about it, I am totally open to do that. But beyond that, good for you. Go about your day. There are people that just go, I don't watch your Hunter x Hunter stuff. Totally fine. You don't want to engage with it. You still like Hunter x Hunter despite all the things we called out about it. You still think it's a good series. Rock it out.
But the negative stuff, you can be like, okay, I can better understand why this is negative. And I like the positive stuff more because it doesn't do these negative things here.
We've gotten criticism of things like, hey, can you show the picture you were talking about on screen? Hey, we don't know what you're talking about when you say that. Can you link to something? So we started adding references in the descriptions of things we talk about. Started putting pictures on screen or a GIF or a video if we're talking about that thing. All things that would not have happened without some form of criticism going, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you do this thing? If people were just like, yes, clap your points, we'd still be doing the exact same thing. There'd be no spoiler warnings in the beginning of the video. Because in the beginning, we're just like, well, these videos are really for us. And if somebody else watches them and gets spoiled, whatever.
Hey, shut up about the T-23. No. How about you and your criticism with that? Hey, do more T. That's not a criticism. That's just making it. No.
That's a request. That's a demand.
Rejected.
We have no right to complain anymore. We do want good movies, right? We don't just want to feel terrible.
No, you can't. It's less likely to enjoy the sunny days without the rainy days. You need that sugar and spice. You need those bad things to be like, now the good things are better. I know what is bad because if everything is good, everything is an 8, 9, and a 10, then the 8 is going to be the bad thing, and the 8 is going to be like, why isn't the 8 a 10? And you're going to find things that's wrong with that 8. If everything is a 10 out of 10, well, that's just boring.
Even if everything's a 0 out of 0 out of 10, it's still boring.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, this is just more trash. There's only so much anger in your heart you can get out. I couldn't imagine doing Revisited daily. Could not imagine it. Could I imagine doing a because reasons weekly?
It'd have to be the XQC things where we just let it rock and just play and just go, yeah, I disagree with some of those things.
How does this man not understand? I understand. Okay, it's late. We'll get into the discussion another time.
We can have this now.
No, it's late. We'll do it on the weekend. We'll do it on the stream. We'll have the discussion. Because I'm sure the people in the chat would want to.
We're gonna do a quick and dirty 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
You're going nowhere.
Bam. Start it. Yo, he is so stupid.
He is potentially the dumbest content creator I've ever.
But he doesn't care is one of the biggest things.
No, I can't go with that because if he didn't care, he wouldn't try to explain himself.
He doesn't care in as much as that first sentence of, here's why I do it. Yeah. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, you're modding.
How do you get cooked like this and go, I won because he was modding?
What the actual, it's that feel thing of, no, that went perfectly. Like, did you just see? Because you're in your mind as you're speaking, just going, I'm making all these good points and they're just not listening.
Or these people are just like, I got you mad, so I won. Like, no, if you keep jabbing me with a pen, you didn't win because I got mad off of you. I'm just mad that you did it and you didn't counter the things I said.
And the just like, yeah, just take my.
I love how he tried to back Ethan into a corner, just like, is this your content? Are you the better creator?
And Ethan just goes, you added 40 seconds. You said like 30 words. What is this? This is nothing. And he's like, well, here's you sitting down as well. It's like, hey, this is cut up the
this is the first time I'm seeing it. So your editor just sent a video to make me look bad?
What do you think you're proving with this? Because you don't know what you're talking about because you've never seen it. It's just him saying, of course he doesn't have something to say at every single second.
Nobody does. We don't.
You can't do that. But you sitting there showing this is a 9-minute video and here's your reaction. That's 9 minutes and 40 seconds. And here's every single thing that you said. What can you say to that?
There's no way to come back from cooking like that.
And the muff probably got like $1,000, $2,000 for that 9 minutes. You can't, what are you... Okay, you win. Goodbye.
That's the type of stuff I'm talking about where we do something we do is way different. We literally talk about as much of the video as we possibly can.
So transformative.
This mother is just going, any input I put into the video has transformed it.
Literally. If I get up and the chair is there, people love the chair, and that's basically transforming. Because you dumb suckers. You got anything to say in the next 9 seconds?
He sucks. He just sucks.
I can't. I got a G Fuel XQC thing, and I want to throw it out. I'm pissed. Hey, shut up, Dutch. I know I'm supporting a cuck. I know it. I know. I didn't know before. It's a good flavor.
Want to feel terrible and wallow in our own misery, passing time until our inevitable death. I guess I can really only speak for myself. And I love films. I love the process of filmmaking. I love film.
I don't necessarily love films. I love storytelling.
Yes.
I don't care what the medium is.
I don't care how there are going to be times where I'm like, oh, that was a really good camera shot. But beyond that, the way things are framed, that doesn't really connect with me as much as the characters, the plot, the story, that type of thing. The way the action flows matters more to me than just, hey, look at the way this is shot.
And analysis, I love all of it, and that is why I am doing this right now. That is why I am deconstructing it. I want to see it reconstructed and built upon. I want to see it continue to thrive and improve. I want it all to just...
It is going to thrive and improve, but you need to do that with both positive and negative things. Not just going, hey, don't talk about the bad stuff or talk good about the bad stuff. That's going to limit people because now you just got to be like, I guess this shot in Cats was pretty good. Like, what does that do for the film criticism, for the film review?
What does that do for Cats in general to prop it up?
As you're just like squeezing a towel trying to get every single drop out of it. Like this, you're going to get something, but
you're going to end up squeezing your own sweat you're creating, trying to squeeze out moisture.
Like, I want to live in a golden age of films where...
There has never, ever, ever in our lives been a golden age of film.
And there never will be.
Because no matter how many good films come out, there are going to be 2 to 3 times as many mediocre to bad films. Yes. No matter what. Look at the American films of 2023 right now. And you tell me how many of those films, in the first 3 months, you would go, I saw that and it was a good film, or that's a film that interests me. And then look at all the others.
And these are ones that are just released into the theaters.
Yes, we're not even talking about a lot of the Hulu exclusive stuff. A lot of the
like in Chiller, those offshoot streaming platforms where they just get anything.
I got it. my mouse is good now.
Can look back on it and with the same amount of reverence that we do for the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Hey, they can right now because there are good films coming out right now. The Menu was a good film. Barbarian was a good film. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a amazing film.
You talk about the reverence of the 70s and 80s, but wasn't your point earlier that we're not looking at the mediocre stuff?
Yes.
We're looking at the 4 or 5 amazing, groundbreaking, iconic masterpieces?
So in 30 years, maybe a kid won't see the Lion King 2019 remake, or a person won't see that. But they may see whatever the top critiqued film of that time was. Maybe they will see Annihilation. Maybe they will see an Upgrade.
I want the divide between critic and audience to heal. I want people to be able to see that criticism can be validating. Just like when Roger Ebert helped legitimize Martin Scorsese.
I don't know how it's not validating now.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
I feel like a lot of our things have been essentially, what does he mean by that? Because he's explained quite a bit, but there have been poignant points in this this critique of critiquing where we're just left dumbfounded over what the meaning of his words were in that exact instance.
Roger was the very first person, very early on in my life as a filmmaker, to call attention to my work. It was 1968, I think. And over the years, he's championed my movies. He wrote and spoke about them with great care and insight and criticism, and was always there, really, for me when I needed support in one kind or another. Like me, Roger cared about the history of cinema and its preservation. He cared about its place in our culture, in the culture of the world. He insisted that it be accorded the respect it deserved. A really, really disgusting spectacle of Rotten Tomatoes and Cinema Score. I think he would have been railing against it and throwing the money changers out of the temple.
And then when Roger Ebert said that video games can never be art, there had to be someone to go out there against him and say, no, playing Halo split screen till 3 a.m. was an extremely transformative experience for me. Video games are art, and I am
So, if he's saying something monumentally stupid like that, why are we believing him when he's talking about the art of cinema?
Because I guess he's an expert in one field, but not really the other field.
No, we're talking about the popularity fallacy. That's not the fallacy. The argument from authority of just, hey, this guy is a film critic, so he is
he's a film critic, so he could speak on film, but video games he can't really speak.
I need to know what his definition of art is, and why this doesn't classify as art.
Taking them seriously. That is what criticism is all about to me. It's about...
Hey, you said a thing I don't agree with, and now I'm saying why I don't agree with it. Hey, you made a bad movie, so now I'm saying why it's a bad movie. Is what them saying it is art, technically not a negative response to him, even if it's framed positively? It's going against somebody else's opinion, regardless of what that opinion entailed.
Legitimizing art forms. It's about reaching out to the audience and reassuring them that, yes, this stuff is meaningful.
Yeah! DSP meaningful!
But there's meaningful stuff coming out right now.
Yeah.
Who are you to say that Avengers isn't meaningful to somebody?
Who are you to say that The Room isn't meaningful
to
somebody?
Wrestling is meaningful to people.
The Land Before Time is meaningful to people. Meaningful is very subjective.
Most everything he's saying is subjective.
And it's understandable, but just like, hey, let's make films meaningful again. When did they stop being meaningful? And how do we make them meaningful again? By not being negative?
By not releasing as many bad movies or movies that just put as many butts in seats?
Force that will hopefully help us reach new heights and maybe.
Okay, what heights were reached with people saying that video games are art? What helped in that instance?
Just once help us reach a state of content.
I'm content now. I love content. I'm quite satisfied.
I'm satisfied with the media I'm consuming.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, this just is. No.
There are times where I'll watch a movie and then I'll skew positive. I'll go, okay, that was a pretty good movie. I'll skew negative. That was a pretty bad movie. And then there are the ones where I'm like, this is fantastic and this is horrible. I am satisfied on every ends of those spectrums. The only time I'm not satisfied is in the middle, 5 out of 10. I got as many positives as negatives to say, or I got as little positives and negatives to say. It is just a film. I'm talking your Captain Marvels.
But if I watch like 5 films, like, one of them will be a 5, and the rest will just be up or down. It's not like I've got a lot to say about a lot of things. I'm above content.
We were satisfied with bad movie days, watching like The Wall and Husk and all this in the Plane movie and Clock Stoppers. These are bad movies, but we were satisfied with the experience of them.
I don't want to be content, because that's you get into complacency territory.
Yeah, and once you're complacency, you're now just accepting whatever is being put out. I don't want to just accept the film I'm given. I want the film I'm giving, if I think it's bad, to be better. If I think it's good, to be better.
Rather than lie in a constant state of contentiousness.
Oh, I guess this was the end screen where you would be showing his video.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Anomaly? It's hard to rate it accurately. You know what? Maybe this is a TBD. Maybe we gotta sit on this one.
I agree on that one. Because that's a bit of a stinky, weird one. Because some of the things like, oh, no. And it's like, wait, no.
And the things where we're like, oh, no. He'll say something after we go, oh, okay, yeah, no. Okay. And then it's the reverse as well. Where we're like, oh, okay, no. Wait, no, that's terrible. Yeah, I might need to think on that one. All right, TBD that one. Don't know what we're doing Saturday. Never know.
Never do.
Never know. Yeah. Dragon Ball month is over. There is no Mark month. Shut the up. There's no Goku T23. There is no Last of Us 21.
Get timed.
It is over until a month and a half from now where we do. Oh no. We might need to do viewer request month in November or even September, because we're going on a cruise in October, and that's 4 days. I mean, I guess we can miss a video and just push one video of your request month
September,
to another.
I don't think that would work, because even if we do it like right now and have the voting be 2 weeks, and then we got a week to watch and read potential stuff.
Yeah, the watching and reading is the problem. Yeah. So yeah, we'll probably just end up having to push something back a week or something.
But we're only going on that cruise for, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think?
Yep. We'd miss a regular video.
I'm gonna miss a lot of work if I'm still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wee woo.
I was worried my job
Never mind.
wouldn't give me that time off because I don't have enough paid days off. But a lot of times people are just like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be off the next 2 days. So I'm just going to be like, hey, I'm going to be off the next 4 days. Give me 2 days of PTO. And
my job doesn't offer PTO.
how
We're contractors.
we will us out of here.
Wee woo. Watch Rokudo's Bad Girls. Pick the right girl. You know the one. You will know the one. That's all I'm saying. Not a warning, just a suggestion.
Sounding like a warning.
Get banned. You know, I don't want to hear the bad choice from you especially. Because there is the right choice. Wee woo.